Okay, okay. He's just showing a black screen, but okay, no, there it is. Okay, I
No,
can
we're
see. We're. Are we live? We are live, gentlemen.
Oh no.
yeah,
We
bro. We're
are.
absolutely live.
We are live.
We're
We're
all
on
the
the
way live.
YouTubes.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello,
How's everyone?
YouTube. Let's see. What kind of buttons have I got over here? Uh, okay, I got analytics. I've got stream settings, stream health. Let's see. Oh, it's actually got like a start time to an end time. Oh, this is like ADHD wet dream right here. This is amazing.
Oh shit.
Yes, it is.
There's like a bunch of stuff here. Stream is healthy. So guys, we're all healthy.
All right, cool.
So
Here I was thinking I had fatty liver disease and fucking asthma, but oh no.
Hey,
Oh no.
don't worry.
I've done the disease.
We're in a minute. I mean, I did put in here like we're not for kids because like YouTubers are not for
Good.
kids in general. But I will go ahead
We're
and state
absolutely
this
not
right
for children.
now: we're not for children, and not for like the normal YouTube reasons. More along the lines of just we're grown ass people, man.
That's it. We're grown ass people and we ain't married. Thus, children icky. Get that shit out of here. They got cooties.
I don't need these kids. Sorry, Taffy.
I said kids are dumb and they smell.
They do.
That's it. They always have a miasma stank around them.
It's like they attract stank. It's kind of like I don't know if it's that or if it's what is it the American Dad episode where Stan tells Steve, he's like, Steve, make sure you get 8 hours of sleep every night because if you don't get enough sleep, young boys put out a smell that pedophiles can pick up on. And I was like, damn, I need to get more sleep.
Right?
I'm awful cute even though I am grown. But gentlemen, this is kind of weird. It's a new thing, and I'm just like, hey, this is cool and new, and things are happening. But at the same time, I don't know why I'm nervous on this one. I guess because I'm waiting for any moment YouTube to just come in here and throw us all out into the streets and be like, y'all ain't come back to YouTube. Well, what did I do? You know what you did.
Vanished to the Shadow Realm. You told the Fox story about protecting them chickens.
I protected them chickens, by God. I also kind of forgot that a friend of mine very much loves foxes, and I was talking about what we were talking about the other night, how about Chainsaw Man, how the demons are their strength correlates with how scared people are of them, and
Bluetooth ready for connection.
yeah, YouTube, but
yeah, right, Bluetooth.
no, but I mentioned that we were talking about like it's like Funk would have advantage against foxes because of the fox story, and I was like, that's kind of funny. And I was telling it, and I forgot a friend of mine was obsessed with foxes, and she did not know about the fox story, and now she does. And I was like, uh-oh, that's my bad.
Whoops.
Had to reveal the eldritch truths.
The eldritch truth of when Funk vivisected a fox entirely by accident. Look, I didn't want to do it.
Dude, it was a hell of a shot.
I mean, I'm proud of it, honestly. Like, to this day, I'm proud of it. But at the same time, like, damn.
Right?
Like,
Awful.
I didn't want to do it. It's like you know,
So the hearts would be disappointed.
I
Sorry,
had something I was going to go with. I was like, you know what? That's awful blue. No, it's kind of like, how that instinct everybody has to, like, when you're done using the bathroom, you look at the toilet to see if, what you've done.
Yeah, you're right.
Like you're like, this is gross, but you do it anyway because you're like, all right, cool. I accomplished something.
Anyone that knows it was a liar.
You want to be able to look and be like, I made something today.
All right?
But yeah, we are trying new things and dominating and seeing how this goes. And I don't think I should mention,
Sitting in the hospital parking lot smoking.
dude. Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Right? It's coming to you live from the Menthol Mobile.
The menthol mobile. Normally parked in the menthol gazebo.
Right?
I feel like
The gazebo made with nothing couches I find on the side of the road.
The fact that I actually seem to think you had like 47 couches was one of my favorite things.
Oh yeah, because the thing was, I actually did at one point have fucking 5.
I remember that, and then it's just like was
Like,
just like
bro, 5 couches is a lot.
that is a lot. You think about it, and you think like the average home has 1 couch.
What do
So
you
it's-
mean?
Yeah,
America's huge, so that means you can afford more couches.
No, yeah,
Like-
one inside that I found, one in my bedroom, one in the living room rather, one in the bedroom that I was using, and then I had 3 of them out in the shop,
Mm-hmm.
and I just hung out there and watched a bunch of movies and played games and shit all the time. Unfortunately, 3 of those couches got ruined by somebody turning on a faucet when I told them not to.
Dick move.
Yep. Yeah, that shit sucked. I had to throw them suckers away. There's no way to like get the water off of them fast enough so they didn't mold or anything, you know?
No, when water gets on a couch, you might as well just write that sucker off.
Yup. I do remember what was funny about one of them, though. It had a reclining feature on the 2 ends.
Mm-hmm.
And the middle piece, apparently, that's the reason they had it set out on the curb and shit to get picked up by the trash guys.
Yeah.
The middle piece was broken on the back part of it at the bottom. So it didn't support itself and it leaned back a little bit further than it should have.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like falling off or nothing like that because the cloth and shit was still perfectly intact. So it was holding it on there really good.
Yeah.
I was up there to pick that shit up. My mom was like, "What are you doing? That one's obviously broken." Yeah, how many times you ever seen a couch away from a wall?
I mean, you got a point. Now, my mom used to do that where she had her couch like in the middle of the living room, and I was just kind of like, "This is weird."
Yeah, right. Like having it in the middle of the room is kind of odd unless it's a very small couch.
I have to have it in the middle because our living room, our entrance door is literally against a wall.
Okay,
It's like
But
the
yeah,
back of the room.
Okay, that's
barring
fair.
the odd circumstance like that, like 9 times out of 10, couch is sitting against the fucking wall. You know.
Yeah, because like the couch is like a hallway through as you enter,
Hmm.
just because of the weird layout.
Now, like I said, it can work in the middle of a room because, like, when I had the shop, it was huge. Like, you could park 2 fucking John Deere tractors in that thing. So it was big enough that it could accommodate 3 couches in there spread around, and a couple of chairs and shit like that. You know, that was a little
Yeah.
party king.
He's-
Tell you what, though, I slept out there a couple of nights, and I ended up waking up with a black widow spider right next to me. One of them,
Mhm.
bro. You want to talk about freaking the hell out?
Oh no,
I-
I know.
Why do I feel like that's
Well,
changed you? Like at some point, that spider like entered your brain and was like, "You must find the spider wife,
Must find it.
the Phrygian tubule."
No, I have a problem with spiders in my house. Like, if you're in my house, I'm sorry, bud, you shouldn't have let me see you. Murder stealth. Like, you just got to not let me see you, or you got to kill me so I can't report you.
That was kind of it with me. Like here at the apartment, where like, I don't know, I don't mind spiders, so I was just like, hey, live and let live. They can eat mosquitoes because I live in the deep south like you do.
That's it. If I see them and they're out of the way in the corner of the room that I never go to, like, yeah, fuck it, whatever, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
But if you're small and I don't know what you are, and I catch you running around, sorry, bud, can't take that chance.
That was me until like I found the tarantula, and I was like, tarantulas are not native to Mississippi. Where the hell did you come from?
The fuck?
Because
Eight-legged freak over again.
dude, it was wild. Like I came home and I kind of walked in the kitchen. I was like starving. I threw like some chicken nuggets in the oven, and I was like, I'm gonna go sit in my chair. And like, I got like lamps. I don't use like the overhead light, so I just turned the lamp on, and I could see something like black sitting in the middle of the floor. And I was like, did I leave a sock out? What the fuck is that? And I go to pick it up, and then it moved, and I was like, that's not a sock. That's not a sock at all.
Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm about to shit my britches in a second.
I was like, I'm about to
was
have an
that?
accident. Something horrible is going on here. And then it turned out, oh, well, it's a goddamn tarantula. Where the hell did this come from?
That's wild. At least you found it on the floor and not in your bed, you know?
That's very true. I
Because
found
the
him.
thing is, tarantulas, most of them can't kill you because their
Yeah.
venom isn't like anywhere near strong enough because of their size. But those fangs do still hurt.
And plus, like, they're just enormous. So it's just like here is a hamster or like a hamster-sized spider in the middle of your floor
Yeah.
that you don't know where it came from, which is what made it worse. I was like, if I'd have known, like, oh, well, this is a buddy of mine or something. I was like, I don't know anybody that has a spider. Why is there a spider in my apartment?
Mm-hmm. Now, one that's that big, it's just like, all right, fucker, you can go out on the porch, go, leave, be gone.
Exactly. It's
But
just
the
like
little
any-
small ones
for
are
the rats, menthol.
Huh?
The spider's there for the rats, menthol.
You know what? I should have thought to do that. I should have unleashed like 50 tarantulas under my fucking house.
You set
That
up over
would
here looking
probably
like
be
damn Morgoth or some shit over here.
I'll tell you what, the time that fucking snake showed up in the middle of the kitchen because we didn't know we had that hole under the cabinet in the kitchen sink.
Huh?
There was a hole going to the floor underneath there, and all of a sudden my mom came in my room just like, yeah. Like, what the hell are you so excited about? And I get up and go in there and look. There's absolutely nothing, but she swears to God she saw a snake in there. And I started looking into it, and it was probably a rat snake, which is totally harmless. Like, they don't even, like, hurt humans when they bite them and it goes untreated. It's fine. And they're a
It's like-
constrictor type anyway, so they don't even bite most of the time.
That's it, and they're tiny. So
But yeah, she was tripping her ass off about that, and I was like, nah, I don't see nothing in here, but I mean, worst case scenario, a snake does show up, you just bop it with a fucking broom or something, you know?
yeah, it makes me think of that day. Like I heard my mom scream bloody murder from the garage because that's where we kept the washer and the dryer. And I go out there and I'm like, all right, I was like, what's going on? What's happening? And mom's like there is a snake in the washer. And so I open the washer and there is a little green snake and he is eating a little green frog.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. She's like, he's eating a frog. I was like, well, you ought to love him because you hate frogs. Y'all ought to be
Yes.
best friends.
You ought to be like, you know, giving him a nice warm tank to sleep in or something shit.
He ought to be like your buddy.
Hmm.
Huh? Mom's just screaming at me about, fuck, get this goddamn thing out of here. It's Kibbles. I was like, I gotta fix Kibbles.
Kibbles.
Kibbles is floating in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, I'm just like, this dog is going to fucking eat me.
Koblaze.
This ghost dog Pokemon. Like,
Hold
look at
on.
this. Look at this. Look at this little guy. Look at this little guy. I want to pet him.
Oh, wait. Look, he's noticed Kibbles.
Clobbles. Quibbles.
He's gonna check him out. He's gotta sniff him out.
Boy. Who's your
But no, your Kibbles. Did you hear the news?
Our
About the NASA program?
about the search for aliens, the fucking
Yup.
aliens? Yes,
Yup.
I have. I've been
We're
following.
going to be releasing research results next year?
Yeah, you know what the fucking results are gonna say though. You know exactly what they're gonna say. I'll
I know
tell you
exactly what
what
they're
they're
gonna
gonna say. I'll tell you what they're gonna say. We cannot.
Verify or, you know, not verify.
We do not know what foreign technology this is. We cannot identify it, but we can just trust us, guys. It's normal. It's natural. It's swamp gas. Okay, what you're seeing is swamp gas being ignited.
What you're seeing is just a high amount of swamp ass thanks to global warming.
Well, that's
No, I have a feeling they're actually going to drop something in there about, like, there are several objects they couldn't identify and had no explanation for. Who the fuck knows? Because they're getting more open about the UFO shit lately.
Nah, man. They've already dropped in. They've already said, like, yeah, we definitely. The Navy has said, like, we don't know what the fuck it is. It's not
Yeah.
Russia. It's not China.
That's what I'm saying. Like, a dude was on Good Morning America just a couple of weeks ago because he, you know, pulled out his phone during a flight and videoed a bunch of fucking flying objects.
Did you hear
Yeah.
about the? There was a plane, 2 or 3 days ago, had a near collision. The pilot said within 10 feet, with a
Damn.
quote unquote drone, right? A drone at 15,000 feet.
Yeah, right.
It was a cylindrical black object at 15,000 feet. It was a drone.
That's
Totally.
Dude, I almost
Nah,
said
man.
flying dick.
The fucking aliens are out there, man.
Yeah, of course they're out there. Like, now, are they visiting us? That I can't say.
I think there's a
want to
chance that
say-
it's the Carnauts, and I think it's a chance that aliens might be observing us.
I want to say that there is. I don't know if it's aliens. There's definitely something out there that we don't understand.
Because the Carnaut
Seems
theory
to
kind of sounds interesting to me, so I'm kind of into that one too.
Oh fuck yeah! That's just us like 500,000 years from now. We haven't killed ourselves. Yay!
Yeah, we're coming back in time to visit the old days now that we have time travel, but every once in a while they fuck up on the stealth, you know?
See, that's the entire thing. You give me a super advanced technology, and I will give you something that breaks every now and again.
Yup.
Like these people are gonna say it can't be aliens. You can't. What do you mean? The super advanced civilization that can travel all the way across space, but they crash in a lightning storm. Hey, shit breaks.
That's it.
It's like look at this area. Like I have, you know, a pretty advanced little computer, got my drawing tablet and everything. But if like say somebody dropped a brick on it, it's still gonna tear up.
Yeah. Like, bro, you ever been just driving down the road and something shreds the fuck out of your tire and that shit just goes right to the rim immediately?
Yeah. It
Yup.
does. Now imagine doing
Things
that in
get-
a UFO. Like
Exactly.
imagine getting a space flat.
I always like the
Like, you
dating
get a-
effect. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you get a flat and fucking low orbit, you're done.
You're burning crisp
Man,
at that
you can't
point.
come back from a space flat. Yeah.
Space flight ruin your whole day.
That's it.
You can't just call fucking triple. What would they have in space? Octuple A?
No,
Octuple.
They're so much more advanced than us.
Yeah, it'd be octuple.
No, they'd have tetrahedral.
well,
They
I
have
was saying,
tetrahedral A.
in
Yeah,
Futurama it was septuple A.
it's septuple A. There we go.
I
God, the
told you
weather's
about
starting
talking
to
about
feel
Futurama in here.
I said I'd talk about it all I wanted. I like how anytime we want to be
My rent,
smartasses with each other, we default to Teamster voice.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring this up, Funk, because you were talking about your rent going up. My
What you
rent,
got?
if I stay here, will be $2,300 a month next year.
God fucking damn, dude.
Jesus.
Are you serious?
That's
Yeah,
a
it's going
used
up
car.
like $400. Yeah, every fucking month.
Good God, dude.
Ridiculous.
Like, I'm not saying
I'm gonna have to start fucking selling like meat picks or some shit, man.
I'm not saying I wish financial ruin or any kind of harm on these people, but man, a lot of these landlords really need to have that shit yanked out from under them so that they can be like put out at reasonable prices.
That's it.
They're the reason shit's all messed up right now.
I 100% agree, my friend.
That's Osaka. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Even if you are late.
Oy.
Fucking windows open.
No, because I was looking at that. I'm still looking for properties. And I got a couple more to go look at. But here's another example of just like the wonders of when it rains, it pours. They currently have the major intersection going to most of these properties I need to go to under construction because they're ripping up the railroad tracks to put down new ones, and it's gonna be closed for 2 weeks. So if I want to go look at these properties, I have to go basically like 6 to 7 miles out of the way.
Fun.
That's just about fucking annoying, honestly.
It's been especially bad for work because like all the ways to go like kind of around it are all packed, so they're very hard to get around. And I have to go to New Orleans at some point. I gotta pick up my anniversary miniature. I got him on. Hold on a second. I'll pull them up on screen. Yeah, when Games Workshop stores have anniversaries, they'll give them like special models to sell. And this one here that I have on screen, this Inquisitor, was on sale, and I really wanted to get him because he looks dope as hell. And I've got him. He's paid
Nice.
for. I just got to go get him.
Nice.
Because it used to be they would just have them there at the store, sell them from the stock, hand them off. But then scalpers got to be such a problem that they just did it like, oh, we just come in a store, you buy one, then they ship the store just says, oh, hey, I had 100 people buy them, I need 100 of these guys. And they just do it that way. Which I thought was a way better way.
more.
Yeah.
That's a lot fairer. That's a lot fairer. I like that.
Anything that tells the scalpers to just piss off, I'm super happy with.
Same
No,
here.
it's great.
Because I told him, I was like, you're not going to like sell it under me, are you? And Chaz was like, no, I'm not going to undersell it. He's like, I'm not like a lot of these dudes that do that. He's like, it's here. It's got your name on it. You come and get it when you're ready. Because I told him, I was like, I might not be able to get it till like the first weekend in November. Doors is not that far, but it's like, still at the same time, like, this is the first weekend I've had in about a month. I don't have to do anything. And I still got to do one or two things. Like, I got to go buy some silly shot glasses. And then I got to try to get some of my clothes, like, sorted through to donate because I've got too many t-shirts. And I don't need that many, so I'm going to try and donate some.
Hey, it's a good problem to have, you know? Like any problem where you can say the solution to this problem is charity, it's a good problem.
It is, because I was looking at it, I was like, I got too many, and it's like a bunch of old shirts I just don't wear anymore. And I was like, if I'm not wearing them, somebody else could wear them, so let's go. It's mainly like a bunch of junk I bought. It was like, you know, nerd shirts, and just now they're too nerdy. Also, I was just thinking, well, hold on a second. I'm curious. I know that my playlist is safe to play on Twitch because they've all said so. I would assume, I don't know. I don't want to assume anything with YouTube. Because like it's very quiet in here.
You can always test it and find out. Better to find out earlier than later.
Yeah. Like I said, all these artists have like specifically said like you can use our stuff for creative streams, so. Wait, why is Rod Stewart on here? Rod Stewart, you are not on here. I love you, Rod. Why are you on here? Seriously. Answer the question, Rod. Alright, here we go. I'm rolling. And I gotta say, the thing I'm most hyped for now with the new Pokemon game coming out is this little fucker right here, because if you'd have told me there was a ghost puppy in there, I'd have probably, you know, not believed you, because I'm thinking like, oh no, you're trying to cater to me now. You're lying to me, trying to get my hopes up in my dreams.
Excuse me.
I think it's supposed to be like a Growly evolution. I think they said.
I think I'm not really sure, because everything I've seen of it, like it burrows underground and leaves its little candle like sticking out, and then people come to check on it and it just pops out. So
I don't know. Haven't been in the Pokemon for a while, so I'm not 100% sure.
I've been kind of keeping up with these, but I don't really try to keep up with, like, I don't go to a lot of like forums or the subreddit or anything, because the subreddit is just people bitching about the meta, and I'm like, I don't care about the meta. I want the ghost puppy.
In other Discords that I hang out with, people post stuff all the time. I saw like an image with a Growly. One turns to its other evolution, the other turns into that. So I don't know if that's really what it is or just a fan picture.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. It's probably Growly, but I don't know.
Mm.
I'm just happy he's friend-shaped.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, this whole deal is apparently he drains the life force out of people, and I'm like, that's fine.
I mean, if anyone here has had a puppy, it's not that far off.
Right.
I was like, look, I've had a puppy. I've been in a relationship. We're fine. Don't worry about it.
You know what that reminds me of with you saying that, Funk?
Be like, yeah,
What's
not
that?
too bad.
That has the exact same energy as the bit from Dusk Till Dawn, where she starts talking about, I'll make you my slave. You'll lick the dog shit off my heel whenever I tell you to. And you'll just follow my every command and all that. And he just goes, no thanks, I had a wife already.
Damn.
Same energy.
There's a, what movie was that? Airheads. No, it wasn't Airheads. It was, Airheads had something similar, but it was different. Hot Shots Part 2, I think it was. Where they're like...
Hot Shots Part 2.
Part 2. They're like torturing the guy, and it's like Saddam Hussein's torturing him there, and like he's not giving up any information. He's doing like more bizarre stuff. And then he looks at him, he's like, "You're very tough. You must have been going through much training." He's like, "I've been married." And Saddam's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Twice." Oh,
Oh, what a badass.
he's a badass man. And you're right, it's like he does kind of seem similar to Litwick, which is funny because, like, besides Gengar, Litwick is kind of like the Pokemon that I draw Funk with the most. It's kind of like Litwick, Gengar, Litwick, and Phantom, because Phantom's just so sad. But I love that little tree. It's like, where do the Litwicks come from? Well, they're the souls of kids that got lost in the woods.
Funny you should ask, Timmy. Would you like to find out?
That's what I always like to imagine, you know, like, you walk by, like, the Pokemon breeding center, somebody's breeding Phantoms, and it's just like kids are walking by getting their souls sucked out and crammed into Pokemon. It's like, why won't Billy wake up? Well, it looks like somebody wanted a shiny Phantom, so,
Gotta get the albino kid. Gotta get his soul.
that's the fun part. It's like trying to get his soul, because that's God shiny right there.
God, shiny.
You're shiny for the Lord, son. Also, I probably looked like some kind of demented maniac walking out of Walmart today.
How so?
I went in to get a couple things. I needed like milk. I need some cereal, stuff like that. And on my way out, I was walking down like the Walmart's version of ethnic food, which means it's food you would not normally find at, you know, this in Wisconsin. It's not the whitest people you know food. So it's like, that's where they keep the Chef Boyardee and like the fucking the Taco Bell seasonings.
Well, I'll be right back.
They also keep Pocky over there. And I was like, cool, I do like Pocky. And I was walking by, and they had my favorite flavor Pocky on sale for $1 a box.
Nice.
So I might have bought like 6 boxes.
Well, that's only $6. That's like the price of 2 Pocky.
Exactly. Like back in the day, when that stuff was first coming up and Japanese snacks were sold only like FYE, that wouldn't have got me 1 box of Pocky. Menthol knows what I'm talking about.
Say what?
Back in the day when like FYE and Hastings were the only place to get like Pocky and stuff like that, and it was like $8 a box.
That in the game stores?
Yep. So that was the only place to get it. There was like $8 a box, and that was it. You could get a Final Fantasy potion to wash it down, which I think went for like $15.
I don't like all the words you're saying.
It's like, I don't like your words, funny Magic Man. It's okay, Kibbles. I don't like them either. That's something I tell people a lot. Like, I was there during the dark times of being a weeb.
I was too. I was generally looking. I was on the outside looking in, going, I don't get it.
It's like, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to talk to girls and I'm going to take my car up on Makeout Hill and race.
Remember some of the spazzes that used to be in like the anime clubs and stuff.
Oh god.
The bitches with the yaoi paddles and the ones that would just fucking snap and try to bite you if you fight them. It was fucking weird.
See, that's what I remember.
Yaoi paddles
Hell,
were always a
fucking
mysterious
new
thing
Alpha
to me.
Busa cartoon with that weed character. I'm like, oh my god, I've seen that fucking character.
It's like, I've dealt with this. I've dealt with this in my soul.
That's. I remember like watching Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and go, this is a cool cartoon, and then going to school and going, fuck are these kids running like that for?
Why are you running? Are you okay? Also, Saka says he found Pocky in an American food store in Queen Street, Stockholm.
I mean, what?
They are getting more common. I have seen them in my local Walgreens, oddly enough. I was like, huh, that's fucking... I felt out of place.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see Pocky all over the place here. I just, why in the American food store?
I see that shit in Walmart.
That's what we
I
just
see that
no,
shit
we were
at
just talking
fucking
about.
Price Chop at the grocery store.
The
I see that shit at below $5.
the Walmart behind me had my favorite flavor, which is the crunchy strawberry. They had them on clearance for like $1 a box. So I bought like 6 boxes because it was all they had left. But
Sorry about that. I was going and grabbing food.
no, you good?
There is a
That's finger food
there's a
on
Japanese
Bush,
store here in Seattle that's pretty great. It's called like Dago or fucking not Dago. That's not Italian.
Daigo.
I'll have to look it up. But it's really cool because like you go there and they're not even selling like the Japanese shit that like people go out of their way for. It's like, hey, would you like this box of niche pen clips? Like they're just normal pen clips, but they're Japan's favorite brand of pen clips.
No, but I'm sure Menthol wants those special Kit Kats.
You mean all of the different flavors of Kit Kats they have?
Maybe not all of them, but I'm pretty sure he'll pass on the pumpkin spice Kit Kat.
You never know. I mean, it's a Japanese pumpkin spice, so I'd be willing to try it. Just to say.
Lemon's right.
Rizo USA.
Exactly. I speak for the tree, and the tree says, give me more weed.
Days of Japan. That's what it's called.
I speak for the trees, and the trees are speaking Vietnamese.
And for some reason, the trees are speaking Vietnamese.
So it's almost St. Spooky's Day. How are you guys celebrating?
It's what day?
Not.
It's almost St. Spooky's Day.
I don't have much planned, honestly. I was trying to think of something, but there's not really much going on. We are talking about doing the Halloween movie stream because Menthol's got a big ass list of Halloween movies.
I was gonna say, if nobody had anything in plan, I was gonna just go out there and be, wow, y'all people just got nothing today, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked. But no, what do you know?
I gotta work and it's Monday, so if we don't do the movie stream, I'll probably do like a spooky game or something.
That's probably what's going to happen. I've kind of given up trying to have people watch movies. Either going to have to happen after the streams or something else because we stream almost every day.
No, I mean, it's just part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta try new things, seize the day and all that. Get on here on YouTube, and I promise YouTube, you won't have to worry about any kind of grooming from me because I'm gonna groom milfs. I'm just gonna.
That's the good kind of grooming.
I was just gonna be here like, oh man, I really wish I had a strong maternal influence in my life. If only someone was here to provide that.
What about cat girls? Like, and not grooming them in like a YouTuber kind of way, but just like, like, hey, let me brush your head.
You know what? That's actually kind of wholesome. So you know what? Let's support that.
Yeah, I want to groom cat girls. So in alcoholic news, because I'm me, sorry to try this low-calorie light IPA.
How'd that go?
It's like the LaCroix of beer. It's so weird.
That sounds absolutely horrible.
It's like someone screamed IPA at a Bud Light.
It's like somebody spilled an IPA on a case of Bud Light.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I could see that.
Like it's not bad. It's just was it worth $10? No. That's a solid $5.99 beer.
That's a solid. I'll put it in the little 6-pack where you get to try a bunch of different flavors.
One or two and see if you like it, but you probably won't for $10.
It's like what was it? A friend of mine tried a beer today. I can't remember what it was. It was supposed to be like marshmallow flavored, but she said it tasted like how a vanilla candle smells.
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah, I just kind of said that would have to be horrible.
Ask her what she thinks about chocolate milk stouts, because I like a chocolate milk stout.
I'd check.
It's not as clean as my apartment's gonna get tonight.
I feel that. I kind of half tore mine up looking for my 3DS charger.
Do you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It is time to, I don't know, just hang out in the Taco Bell drive-thru for a minute until I get my fucking food.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Did you tell them they need to bring back the Captain Crunch sugar balls?
No, I didn't remind them. I'll tell them when I get up here.
Tell him you
Did they
want
have any grits?
fucking burger.
They did not have any grits. I actually asked.
To shut the whole damn store down now.
Right? Nah, I just figured I'd get one of those grilled cheese burritos.
That does sound
That's the
pretty
closest they got to the grilled stuffed burrito, man. That shit was great.
There's a Mrs. Taco Bell.
Is there a Mrs. Taco Bell? I could see that.
Are y'all accepting applications for engagement?
It's like, you know you're looking awful cute, right? Okay, I gotta think of a name for this little guy.
Good dog name.
Because, like, you know, I call my Gengars Poe. I call my Litwicks Elton. So I don't know what I would name this little guy.
Call him Pumpkin, short for Pumpkinhead.
I could just call him Punk, and people would be like, "Oh, is this short for something?" Yeah, Pumpkinhead.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that. His name is Punk. Where's my pen? Just gotta look at him and be like, what you up to, punk? He probably waggle his little tail. And he'd just be like, punk, why are you up to no good? And he'd be like, I don't know, buddy. And I'd be like, you know what, bud? That's fair. You know what it kind of feels like streaming on YouTube tonight?
What's that?
You know, like when you find a bar or restaurant that you really like, and you go there and like you kind of settle in, and then like you go somewhere else and they have a different routine and like everything's kind of not the same. You just don't really know how to handle that.
Yeah, you know? Yes.
Or that weird feeling like when you start a new job and you're like, okay, well all my old routines are gone, so I don't really know how to handle any of this. Just
I am currently attempting to redesign my Wild Wolf.
that sounds like fun.
Like, I want cartoony, right?
Yeah.
But I don't want furry, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
You want to sell the idea of a carefree anthropomorph.
Without it being fetishized.
Exactly.
So, like Animal Crossing style.
Like Don Bluth style, like Disney style, but not pandering Disney style.
So,
Alright.
not exactly rubber hose.
Kibbles, are you drawing Disney's first ever gay character?
Disney doesn't do the homosexuals. Everyone knows this.
Now there was a running joke there for a while that like every time they made a new movie, it was going to star Disney's
Yeah.
first ever gay character, and you're just like,
Disney's
okay.
first.
Which I always thought was just funny as hell. Then you get in there and it's like, okay, well, where are they? And then it turns out they're like just some little bit character kind of hanging out in the background. It's kind of like, what was it, Onward, they had it, and then it turned out she was just like a completely irrelevant character. I think had one line of dialogue, and they're like, there she is! There's Cool Cat.
I got an idea that's not
Rose,
looking
Lyra,
too
and
bad so
Bon Bon.
far.
What kind of idea you got?
Just I'll just take a screenshot real quick. Fuck it. Like, this doesn't look too furry, does it?
Let's see.
As soon as I get this over into Discord.
Everything's
Put
in
it
still
in.
loose.
Where should I put it? Brainstorming.
Let's check. No, that makes me think more cartoony.
Okay, good. That's what I'm going for.
Hey, Kibbles, that reminds me. I found a piece of art of yours from several years back. About 7.
Let's
That's,
don't worry.
no,
that's kind of menacing sounding, honestly.
It is, but it's actually not. You'll be so relieved once you've seen it.
how do I draw it? Oh god.
Also, that is the first time I messaged you in over a year.
Oh yeah. That was fun. God, that's old.
Yes, it
I don't
is.
I definitely found a style and just settled.
Exactly. You did. All you've been doing so far has been improving. And right now, your worries are completely unfounded. It's when you start detailing the musculature, the body.
What's wrong with that?
Well, depending on how detailed you get, other people start to see what you're projecting onto the character.
I want to project big titties onto a fucking fox. What's wrong with that?
Knowing that fox then becomes Big Titty Fox. And you get people like Taffy who start panting very heavily.
Forgive me, for I have sinned.
Foxes don't have huge ears, do they? They've got.
They got pretty good sized ears. I don't know if I'd call them huge.
Now, something like a fennec fox does have massive ears.
Oh yeah, that sucker
Well, that's
gets
a-
ESPN on this thing.
That is a finique. That is.
Oh, are we pronouncing things phonetically?
Does anybody else think it's fucked up that phonetically is not, spelled phonetically?
Yeah, well, fuck your homophones.
That's a hate crime. You gotta love the homophones.
Nope.
I'm thinking that is it. That's gonna be base war quilt.
So I just learned that apparently they're doing a remake of the first Witcher game.
I saw that it's gonna be on like Unreal 5, and part of me wants it, but honestly, before I still want to do my big Witcher playthrough at some point where I play like all the Witcher games, and I'm gonna have to play the janky Witcher 1 because I just feel like that's part of like a rite of passage.
Just remember the entire time you're playing it, this is an RPG. This is an RPG. This is an RPG. Just keep saying that to yourself, and it'll sting a lot less.
I played a bit of it a long while back and just never finished it, and then got really into 2 and 3, kind of the ones that got me into it. That and reading the books. The books are really good. So, though they are, the first ones are kind of hard to read, mainly because Polish is run-on sentence the language. You're just sitting there and it's like, damn, no wonder people always make Polish jokes. These poor guys aren't getting enough oxygen to their brain to process anything because they just keep talking.
And to think that we found that there's an average across all human language for the amount of data you can transmit in a sentence.
That's true.
21 bits per second. That is currently our hard limit. We shall surpass it. Cue the plot line of Metal Gear.
Alright, there's Punk. Punk the Graveyard. I think he's a good boy.
Perhaps the best boy.
There's a good possibility of that. I can't say it's 100%, but it's a very high percentage. Man, I gotta say, like, I'm kind of feel silly about something I'm doing for the wedding, but at the same time, I feel like it's gonna save my sanity a lot. My, basically what I'm doing is I'll be staying the night, like, in the town the wedding is in, which is only about an hour and a half from my apartment. But the fact that I'm gonna have to drive up there Friday night, do a rehearsal, drive back home, and then drive back the next morning to help set up. I was like, fuck it, I'm staying in a hotel room. Which feels weird to be staying in a hotel only like an hour and a half away, but at the same time, I was like, I would be miserable if I made that drive like that often. So that's how we're gonna roll with that.
I think that's fair. I mean, that's.
I'm also just very ready for this shit to be over with.
Also fair.
Every time I turn around, somebody else is asking me something about it. I'm just like, man, I don't know, man. I'm just the best man. I stand in the back and hold a ring. I make sure that Boomhauer doesn't bring a Tinder date because I was specifically asked to do that. Because if he brings a Tinder date, I'm supposed to bounce her. And all I could think the whole time was like, I don't get paid enough for this shit. Alright, Punk, there you are, buddy. Let's see here. Can't work on that. This is going smoother than I thought it was, but a little too smooth to the point that I'm worried.
Been there.
Well, it's like I haven't had a major catastrophic event yet, so. But oh well. Let's see. Okay, is that nice? Fix something here. I don't know how we're gonna gaslight girl. What is it? Gaslight girl boss gatekeeper. What? No, gatekeep girl boss.
Just like gatekeep girl boss.
That's it. I can never remember them. I'm like always trying to hammer that. I'm like I know these. Okay, so what I got planned now, we're going to do a little deep diving inside of one of my, not research folders, but one of my reference folders, so be prepared for scary things.
Oh boy, I love scary things.
Oh no, not the Funkonomicon.
The Funkonomicon must rise!
I want you to rise.
The Funkonomicon is in fact one on the top 10 bestseller lists. I'm currently beating out The Great Reset by Alex Jones.
Okay.
Which, funny enough...
You guys...
Do what?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. That's all I'm doing. I forgot that I had headphone. So what's up? What are we guys?
Hi.
No, I was gonna comment about something kind of funny I noticed. So, last time I was in Books A Million, I was looking around, and right there in the middle, they had the political happening section, which had, you know, like Alex Jones' new book and a bunch of other crap on there. Do you know how many like conservative talking heads have wrote books called The Great Reset?
Probably most of them.
You're not wrong. Like, I looked there, and just right off the bat, I looked, and there was like Glenn Beck and Alex Jones. I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. And then I kind of flipped through, and there was another one. I cannot remember who wrote that one, but I was just like, it's like that moment of like, oh yeah, the two of these did this. I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that this happened twice.
Very much so.
Okay, so by committee, I want to get you guys to help me design my new OC lady.
No.
Fantastic.
So, I've decided that she should be the Rogue Aiden because I just don't feel like enough people give them love. You know, giant warrior gals need love.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm trying.
What?
I couldn't understand, but he was like, keep cutting it off.
It kept cutting off, but it was very
Spider
haunting.
waifu.
You know, hold on.
Yeah, I was peeking the mic screaming, spider, spider, spider.
That's what I was like. I think he's saying spider, but I can't quite be sure.
Yeah.
I was scuffed.
If you're gonna be designing the waifu, you already know where my fucking taste lies, my friend.
Guys, like, what my favorite little piece of like Ragnar fan art I've ever saw was the one where Nancy Gribble catches her and Dale Gribble together. Have you seen that one?
I absolutely have, and it's fucking hilarious.
There it is. Okay. I was like, I need to find me like a decent little Ragnar reference and draw her up real quick. And like the first thing, oh god, what is this? What is this? A meme for ants? This is supposed to be a meme for spiders, not a meme for ants. Look at this card. Look how tiny this picture is.
Yeah, Google Images is pretty bad about just giving you the screen, not the screenshot, the thumbnail.
Goddamn Lollipop Guild made this one.
What did a question? Santa, you're here. Thank you.
What?
50s sci-fi spacesuits. How many antennas would the helmet have?
1.
That depends. Is it American or Russian? Because Russian usually has a lot.
You'd have to say American.
Usually just one on the backpack.
personally, I kind of like the ones where they get the two where the ears should be. So you could either
Yeah.
have like sticking out parallel, or you could get them where they're like sticking up, kind of like the ears on Captain America's helmet or something.
Yeah.
Personally, I kind of like that. What the fuck is that?
What?
Oh no! Somehow, clicking on the Dale Gribble Ragnarok comic immediately like brings up suggestions for Nancy Gribble chugging gallons of barbecue sauce to swell up like a goddamn balloon.
Uh,
Well, okay then.
What? What?
horrifying.
Like it
I
didn't
said,
even
what,
warn
sharing
me.
your browsing data with Google?
I don't know. I'm scared.
That's just like the fandom that shall not be named where we all met. Used to come up on Google Images years and years ago. I've checked it recently and it doesn't do it anymore. But years ago, you could Google cool GIF. Just COOL space GIF. And it would bring up a fucking picture.
I remember that. I don't remember the picture. I can kind of remember, but I remember you telling me about that one time.
Yeah, it was a trip because it was just like, oh my god, the most generic search term in the world leads back here. No.
It's just like, you know,
Absolutely horrifying. That shit is an eldritch entity.
when we were all kids, like coming up on the internet, and you would just type in "big titties" on Google and just be like, "Thank you,
Right.
Google machine."
And Google was like, big booty bitches, big booty.
Big
Booty
booty
butt,
bitches,
booty butt, booty
cheeks,
butt cheeks.
booty butt. Watch, I'm gonna get copyright strike on my YouTube video for fucking Thugnificent.
Hey, we didn't sing more than 5 seconds. We're good.
We didn't. We're gonna start beef with Thugnificent because I mean, if that 15-year-old kid can whoop his ass, imagine what we can do.
Right.
It's true. It's true.
We're all pretty vicious with insults. I mean, you've heard how we talk to each other. I mean, imagine how we're gonna talk to an enemy.
I mean, look, I'm a little proud of it, but not as much as some people might be. Bro, I've literally shit talked someone into being on antidepressants.
That's impressive,
It's
honestly.
your stepdad, right?
Yup.
Yup.
My old stepdad, when me and him got into it, I rattled his cage for about 45 consecutive minutes at full tilt. Like, just hitting him with every kind of thing I could. And I swear to God, if I'd had an hour, it could have got much, much worse. But it was 45 minutes until the police got there after we got into it.
I've never done
Yeah,
that, but I did make a man cry.
Nah, what's funny is, like, as soon as they saw him, like, you know, my mom, my grandparents, and all them had to, like, do with the court stuff. They were up there in court looking out for that. And he had a restraining order put on me, so I couldn't go to court, right? But, like, went ahead and skipped out on that. They said he looked hollow. Like, just shook to hell, nervous, tired, all that shit. And apparently he got put on like 2 or 3 different kinds of pills after we got into it that night.
And I'll just broke
Like
this
almost
man.
immediately.
Broke this man forever.
And like I said, that was just shit talking. So like you can imagine if all of us ganged up on someone full tilt like that, I think we might actually be able to talk someone into catching on fire spontaneously.
Just straight burst into flames.
If I go back to being the little shit that I was, I could probably make people cry.
Don't know if there's anything bad. Like you could probably yeet them into space with that kind of talk.
Well, here's the thing. When I was a little kid, I really hated this one teacher, and then that one day...
I remember this. We can't talk about this one on YouTube
Oh, yeah,
tonight.
it's YouTube. My bad.
Yeah. No. I remember this story. This one was wild.
Dude,
I was so mad at her, I fucking threw that in her face.
Yep.
She just fucking had to leave.
That's it. Sometimes you get down and dirty like that where you just get that one magnificent sentence that is just, ooh,
Oh, here's
this
one.
conversation is over.
It's not an argument, but never mind. It's YouTube, never mind.
Yeah, I know Funk and Lemon and all of them have had that moment too,
Oh yeah.
where you just hit them with that one boy and this conversation is done. Walk away before you get hurt.
Where it's like before the meme was even a thing, you just hear that in the back of your head that I'm about to end this man's whole career. Just that
I'm about to end this man's whole career. Gotta get that tongue roll in there.
I mean, I had that shit recently just with the poor guy scared at the concert. Just
Yeah.
Go calling me a bundle of twigs and then getting mad when I tell him you're talking like that, gonna get his dick sucked.
Sometimes you just gotta hit him with it. Just be like, look, man, this is how it is. I promise you, you are not ready for this. I am not that guy to test.
It's like, I'm sorry, son, I ain't bitch made. My mom ain't raised a bitch yet.
Like, I ain't scared to get stuck in the jaw over some talk.
It's like, you think I'm gonna whoop your ass because I'm big? Hell no.
I'll talk you into crying all the way home. You gonna go home and sit in the shower and just bawl for like 3 hours, man. Don't test it.
You're gonna be in that shower with a Brillo pad thinking your life choices back over.
Set your clothes on fire like Ace Ventura in that movie. Just have a trash can in the bathroom with gas in it ready to go.
Funny enough, that, like, I remember that scene. That was the first time I'd ever seen like a butt on TV. Was that right there?
Right. Like, that movie has aged so poorly for its main plot, but the problem is all the shit that doesn't really like surround the main plot moving forward through that movie, the jokes individually themselves are really funny. Like all of the gags and shit with him like in the mental hospital and all that, those are hysterical. Like him hiding in the box and the thing falls apart, great, perfect, slapstick, let's go.
It's just kind of like that video of Ace Ventura and Cyberpunk. Like, it had all the good bits that have aged wonderfully.
Yep, like him catching the bullet with his teeth.
That shit was
Great.
hilarious. Like,
that's one of the most badass moves of all time. What's the matter? You can't hit me. Pink. Whoa, hold on, I got that sucker.
I caught that one. I caught that one on the nose.
Like, real shit, you know what that is? That's a move like Yujiro Hanma from Baki would do.
I could see that.
God, you're right.
I'm absolutely correct on that one. I know that one in my soul.
Other than the Bucky. Holy shit.
My man would straight catch a bullet with his teeth and just grin at you.
Dumb shitty grin of his.
I tell you what, though, Baki is fun. It's just the first series from way back when was really rough.
Yeah.
But like later on, once they get into like the stuff with Biscuit Oliva, boy, I have seen some stupid shit in my time, and that is way up on the list.
Baki's one of those series that you can easily enjoy. You just have to shut your brain off for a minute on it.
Oh yeah, you absolutely have to just suspend all disbelief immediately coming in the door. Same thing with Kengan Asura. Because Kengan Asura has some really dope moments in it if you just kind of turn your brain off for a minute.
Oh yeah.
Because like that fight that I always highlight from that is one of the smallest fights in that whole damn series. But it's one of my favorites because it's just the old fisherman dude who has land sickness where his, sense of balance is so messed up from being on the ocean for so long on a boat that he's more used to the ground rocking beneath him than he is still ground, so he feels off balance all the time. Man, sitting there fighting a Muay Thai boxer and gets kicked in the head, rattles the shit out of his brain. And immediately, he is back on the ocean, ready to fight. Like, oh, dude, it's so cool.
It's that. God, what was the black dude's name? Who he was like, martial artists have impersonated animals or imitated animals.
Muteba Kazinga.
That's it.
Or Muteba Kazinga, that's it.
He's like his whole deal about like he's like, so I chose to not impersonate, but to imitate weapons, and like.
No! You're talking about the other guy. I'm talking about the blind assassin dude.
Oh no, I'm talking about he becomes a.
No, you're talking about like fake ass. What's his name? Mike Tyson.
They gave him a name and it was like the most stereotypical black name ever. I want to say.
Yeah. No. It's like a joke on Mike Tyson because like he also announces for the company 22nd Century Facts.
That
So
sounds
like,
right.
it's just like one letter off from what it's supposed to be.
I kind of figured like for a minute there for some reason my mind was like, didn't they give him some dumbass name like they called him like Donovan Cleveland? And I was like, wow, like you guys really tried there.
But no, like it's goofy as hell whenever you get to like all the good parts of the fights, where they get done with the introductory shakedown where they're sizing each other up, and they're getting a feel for how strong the other guy is, and then when they start pulling out the special moves and the stupid karate, oh, that shit is so entertaining. It's everything that a lot of shonen manga wish they could get away with in fights, but they can't.
Yeah, because like I remember the first protagonist, or not, I'm sorry, first antagonist is like the dude whose whole special power is he pinches really hard.
Yep. The dude has like insane finger strength to where he can like bend, a goddamn bolt, like a steel bolt or whatever. He can just bend that shit with 2 fingers. But like,
All right, but if that was my fucking superpower, I would be kind of pissed off.
no, it's crazy though, because get this. You know what happens when you grip something really hard when you just swipe at it real fast? You tear a chunk of it off with you.
Oh shit,
So the dude's basically got razor fingers.
Yeah.
man! Like, it's like this motherfucker can fly. This guy's got X-ray vision. This guy's just impenetrable. Like you can't penetrate him with a bullet, a knife,
Yeah.
a stick, whatever.
Well, it's like this dude
I pinch hard. I pinch too hard.
when he has a moment
No,
where
but
he's like
this dude can
explaining how the shit
swipe at
works.
you and just take like 5 chunks out of you like Wolverine.
Yeah. It shows a bit where he's like explaining kind of like the first time he realized he had this power, and it's like him as a kid tearing a coin in half.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, that's actually
Yeah,
pretty
like
impressive.
Hito's super weird because he's like the most extreme example of the Okuyasu type character,
Yeah.
where he starts out as an antagonist and he becomes a Jobro later on. Because like, most of the time when they pull that trope in anime and manga, it has basically the same effect every time, where, yeah, I can kind of spot this dude's going to be an antagonist and then turn to a bro after the first fight. Like, he's going to get his ass whooped and turn around and say, I'll follow you into hell barefooted.
The heel face turn.
Yeah, you can spot it every time almost. But with Hito, they like genuinely make you hate this motherfucker. Like, you really do not care for him the first time. Like, man, fuck Hito. I hope he gets his ass whooped. And then after he does get his ass whooped, and he leaves the story for a while and comes back with his strength upgrade, and he's got some new tech, the second he walks in the door and says, hey, what's up? You just go, yeah, it's the boy! Because I've seen that happen with like 2 or 3 people I've showed that fucking series to, and they all had the exact same timing with it too, where they're just like, man, fuck Hito in the first episode, and then when he shows up again, yeah, it's him!
I didn't get super far with it. I got to the cruise ship, and I read the first opening bit of that. Then I think I stopped. But
oh, dude, you didn't even get to the fun part yet, because the fun part's when they actually get to the island and start doing the matches. There's some wild ass shit. Like, there's a dude called the Devil Spear that can just like stab with a karate chop hand through fucking steel, and he represents Harley Davidson.
Jesus.
And his theme is like a Western biker sounding theme, and it's just called Knock Me Down. Like, you can't fucking do it. I'll kill you before you get to it.
See, I was in that, but the dude that I was really liking at that point was the wrestler. Like,
Jun Sekibayashi.
Yeah.
The pro wrestler that's just like, no, you gotta be tough. That's what we do. It's our job to take a hit.
That's it. Like, because he eats shit on like a super move from old boy, and then like,
oh yeah, he gets his shit broke.
And then he's just like standing up. He's like, oh man, it looks like I lost. And I was like, how are you up?
You got to be able to walk that shit off and do autographs afterwards, man. He's tough as hell.
That is it. I was like, I watched this man get like suplexed onto the concrete, and they just get up.
Yeah, that's what it was. He ends up getting flipped like straight onto his neck sideways, and it just like completely knocks him out, where he gets the white eyes, where he's out. And then, just like you said, as soon as the boss walks in and says, hey, that was a really good fight, he just stands up and cracks his neck, and he's like, oh man.
Yeah, I really liked it because he was a really cool fight, and I need to go back and check that out because I got to that point. And I think at that point I'd kind of caught up with the series because I was
Dude, honestly,
if you don't mind.
If you don't mind 3D animation, the Netflix anime is really good to like speed through a lot of it.
I had to see about yo-hoing that.
It's pretty baller, dude. Like, I'd highly recommend it because that's the way that I got into it.
Oh, hey, funny story. My mom called me yesterday, and she was like, "Fuck, you still have Netflix?" And I was like, "No, remember I told you I got rid of it. I got tired of paying for it." And she was like, "Oh, yeah, I thought you said that, but I wanted to check." And I was like, "What are you looking for?" And she's like, "Well, there's a TV show on Netflix I want to watch," and she was telling me about it. I was like, if you want, like, I could teach you how to use a VPN. She's like, why would I need a VPN? I was like, so you could just pirate that shit.
Right.
She's like, that's illegal.
You can just have everything for free.
That's it. She's like, that's illegal. I was like, not if you got a VPN.
Yeah, the thing is, it's only a rule if somebody enforces it.
Exactly.
The fact that we've made an industry based on masking your actions online in order to prevent companies from coming back and saying, we noticed you watched our film illegally, tells you anything.
Like, they absolutely do not enforce that law. So, get a VPN. It's $5 a month. You good, baby. Download away.
Oh, I just had a bit of an idea.
Like, straight up. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say straight up, like on my computer at the house alone, just on the one PC with a 4 terabyte hard drive, about 3.5 terabytes of that is pirated content that I have saved for a rainy day in case the internet goes out. Oh yeah, I got shit to watch.
Same, because I'm kind of stockpiling too for when I finally do move. Even though I got AT&T and basically all I got to do is just call them and say, hey, I'm moving, and they're supposed to just move it. I figure I'll probably have a couple of days I'm not going to have internet, so.
Exactly. You never know, man.
So I've got
always good to stock up in case that goes out.
So I've got all the stuff on here to watch. I've got like Edge Runners, some other stuff that I want to watch. Then I still also have like my Dragon Maid Blu-rays, and I also have Interview with Monster Girl Blu-rays I can watch.
Nice.
That is a cute-ass series, and I love it.
It was. I really hope it gets another season at some point, but I seriously doubt it will. Because, like, unfortunately, the manga is no longer profitable because it got, like, kind of meddled with by Editor-san too much.
Yeah. Fucking Editor-san getting out here fucking with everybody.
Well, to be fair, Crabman was having trouble meeting the schedule because you remember how fucked up his legs was after that one picture.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about not Everyday Life Monster Girls. Interviews with Monster Girls.
Oh, that just did Everyday Life. My bad.
No, I have that right here somewhere. But, no, Interviews with Monster Girls is the one where the teacher is, like, trying to learn. They're not so much Monster Girls in, like, the idea of, like, the everyday Monster Girls, like centaurs and stuff. It's like there's vampires, Yukionas, one of the girls is a Dullahan. There's stuff like that. Like,
okay, so it's more in line with, like, what was that fucking Rosaria Vampire? Closer to that.
Kind of, sort of. It's more normal. Like, it's not in the magical world or anything. Literally, the teacher, he's like, they call them demi-humans. Or just demis. And he's like, this is fascinating. I want to know about it. So he's, like, asking questions of the girls, and, like, they'll answer him. And they basically, like, hang out and all become friends. And one of the other teachers is a succubus, and he kind of talks about all the stuff she has to deal with. Like,
everything you've stated so far is like Rosaria Vampire, then.
Yeah,
just not a battle manga.
Yeah, no, like, it's not a battle manga, because I liked Rosaria Vampire. I hated the anime, but I kind of liked the manga. It was pretty good. But,
same. The anime was unbearable.
It was like, holy crap, like, this is what happens when you let people do shit for the lowest bidder.
Dude, you know what series never got made into an anime that really, really deserved it?
What's that?
Sandland.
Dude, Sandland, I kept meaning to buy that forever. I just finally read it online. I was like, dude, this shit is great.
Yeah, right. Like, it's a really good Akira Toriyama piece that just got kind of cut off at the end and never really noticed at all. They ran it in Shonen Jump for a couple of years.
Working on DBZ.
Exactly. Like, dude, Sandland was good. I wish we got more of that shit.
Yeah, Toriyama's been trying to do anything but DBZ for a while, and they just are like, "Fuck you, more DBZ."
Just like fuck you, it prints money.
Hey, Toriyama, guess what? We're going to offer you an obscene amount of money that you would be absolutely messed in the head to not say yes to just write, like, a movie. And just, you know, kind of give your official seal of approval for it, for lack of a better term. Like, that's all they want. They roll up there and give him so much goddamn money, he can't say no to it. And he just goes, all right, so Beerus and Weiss are doing something, right?
He's just kind of like, so they're hanging out and like things are, you know, just going along, and yeah, Goku, Vegeta finally banged.
I adore Beerus and Weiss. They are the best new characters to be added to Dragon Ball in a long time.
I will agree with you that and I like the idea that they gave, like, Beerus has a crush on Chile and the superhero.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. I was like,
he's like, bitch, are you stealing my stuff? Seriously? You're stealing stuff from the closest thing this universe has to a Grim Reaper. Eh, but you kind of cute, though. Fuck it, it's cool.
It's alright. Also, I think I might have
such a goofy beat for him.
I might have found my character, or my Rogaden lady to go with, because I kind of forgot about her for a moment. I forgot that I recruited a Rogaden rogue for my squadron, and her name is Careless Whisper.
Dope.
Hold on a second, she's in the pop-up stream visuals.
I got a question for you.
What you got?
Now, I've been kind of in and out because I've been cleaning, but I'm watching the stream and I don't see anything.
There's nothing on there right now. I haven't drawn anything yet.
I was just making sure you haven't.
No,
I've done that.
No, I just opened like a new one. Like, you should be able to look here in a second. And you're gonna see Punk pop back up. But right now, I just had a new one open because I'm trying to brainstorm how to go with this. Yeah, there's Punk.
Coffee.
So we got that, but yeah, no, I just haven't started yet because I'm still kind of trying to brainstorm out. Ooh, excuse me.
All right, cool. I've done that where I've been streaming and like forgot to put the window back where the window should be. You know, just wanted to make sure.
I mean,
so I have a question for you fellas. Whenever you get a chance,
what you got?
When the hell is ICP going to get a pachinko machine?
I don't know.
That's
Don't
a
know.
good
They're
question.
not in Japan, so probably never.
Did the Japanese know who ICP is?
Dude,
Well,
look,
I mean, they damn well should.
Just the gal culture.
I would say that, like, yeah, just think about like how well they took to like the Gyaru. Like, the Gyaru is just like ICP that hasn't gone far enough,
right? You know what ICP can do? They can beat facial recognition cameras.
Oh,
This is true.
God,
This is true, and they're surprisingly like. I feel bad because they're surprisingly wholesome, and
yeah.
I bought into the whole fucking the FBI says they're a violent gang.
Yeah, because the Hatchet Man bullshit. But it's just all for show.
There's a reason why it's called Clown College. It's because people want to be clowns.
People be wild.
Mental,
Well, yeah, like you know.
look, Mental, fuck you for putting this idea in my head. Because now it's like,
what's up?
It's like, okay, so what we're just going to do is introduce the Japanese to ICP by making a Juggalo Dojin.
Oh God.
That's rough.
So instead of like,
I think I'd rather see the ICP Magical Girl anime.
Well, here's the idea. Here's the $1 million idea. Hey,
Bro, just
like normally they got it where it's like, there's the lonely businessman. He's on the train and he's going home and he's depressed. And he's like, I'm going to go drink beer and think about the fact that I'm disappointing my parents because that's the national pastime. And when he does that, instead of looking across the way, and his life is changed by an underage schoolgirl and too much makeup, his life will be changed by Juggalette sitting across an underage schoolgirl in grease paint sitting on a train. And he's going to look up, and she's just going to look at him. They're going to lock eyes, and she's just going to be like, whoop, whoop. And then that's it. That's all the dialogue. That's all the dialogue the story gets.
Nah, I'll do you one better, man. Like, you remember Tokyo Mew Mew?
Oh, God.
That with face paint and just, like, the lyrics just made into stories. Go.
What if we went further? What if we made a Madoka Magica with Facebook grease paint? You get the dark side of magical girls, and like at one point, you know, they're like actually fighting. Like you keep thinking they're going to fight with the hatchets, but no, they're just fighting.
No,
Go ahead.
The thing is, unless we actually get the guy that wrote Madoka Magica and Kamen Rider Gaim to do it, I see that being a very hard sell for Japan. I see it being like a very niche market. What I'm talking about is like the stereotypical Pretty Cure level, like cutesy, you know, child friendly show.
Okay,
But just juggalos. You know, work your way in slow, get your foot in the door.
I'll meet you with that, but they have to fight by using bottles of Faygo to scrub the other person's grease paint off, because that's their source of
Absolutely.
power.
Absolutely. I'm here for that.
It's like Splatoon, but
Like, occasionally, you know, they can get away with some violence. They can bash their head in with a thing of Faygo or whatever, but as long as you don't see blood, it's fine.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
like
just do Fago.
Yeah.
somebody took a bottle of rock
Just
and
Moon Mist and Jaslyn Bluesberry all over the place.
God, fucking Moon Mist. I have never felt as close to death as the day I drank an entire like 20-ounce bottle of Moon Mist.
Dude, I'm telling you, that shit is like Mountain Dew plus extra sugar.
Like the last time I had a caffeine-based drink that was like that potent was fucking RC Edge.
I've never had any Fago product. Period.
Oh, dude, Faygo's actually got a lot of really good flavors. Like,
yeah.
they really legitimately do a bunch of weird shit that nobody else would dare experiment to try on, like, a national level.
I'm
I'll
just not
tell you-
really a soda person, though. That's
Yeah, no. It's something to try over time if you have the access to it. If you don't, it's kind of a bitch to get a hold of.
It's like if you spot it, give
It's
it
not
a
really
shot.
worth, like, going out of your way for it.
Yeah. It's like, I actually read this earlier today, and it was weird to me. Apparently, back in the day, people used to drink Dr. Pepper hot around the holidays.
Yeah. You never heard of that? People, like, absolutely microwave Dr. Pepper and, like, drink it.
That
I got a cousin that does that whenever she's sick.
That's cursed.
Bro, you know how many fucking herbs and flavors and shit they got in Dr. Pepper? That shit is basically Jägermeister, except without the fun.
I would say there's like 23. I like Dr. Pepper. Like, funny enough, I like cherry Dr. Pepper more than I do regular Dr. Pepper. I know it's just Dr. Pepper with like a little extra cherry in it, but I've always enjoyed it. But yeah, no, there's so much shit. I enjoy. I don't care much for Mr. Pip, and I really don't like Cheerwine.
Yeah, like, Kibbles, just for an example real quick, let me pull this shit up for you. List of Faygo flavors. Here we go. So, I shit you not, Kibbles, whenever I was going to school to be a chef, there was a tobacco store right down the road from me
okay.
that was a drive-through only tobacco store because it kept getting robbed. So they had bars in all the windows and shit, and they was drive-through only at that point. You could walk up to the drive-through, and that was cool. But, you know, they were a little jumpy and shit.
Fair.
This little teeny tiny ass hole in the wall that I swear to God you could park 2 cars in and it would occupy the entire like square footage of this building. They had 64 different Faygo flavors available at all times.
What?
64 separate individual flavors. Yes.
I had no idea that Fago had 64 flavors.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, Faygo is actually a super impressive soda company. but they're cheap as shit, sugary as hell, and I mean they're not really anything special unless you get the weird stuff.
Rock and Rye is pretty good.
Rock and Rye is absolutely delicious because it's like rock candy and rye whiskey. Love me some Rock and Rye. But yeah, here's a list of some of the flavors they have, right? 60-40, which is 60% grapefruit, 40% lime. Right off the fucking bat, folks, we are into weird-ass shit territory. Dr. Fago, all right, pretty standard. Black cherry, interesting. Black cherry and raspberry. What? Blue raspberry, all right. Candy apple. Centennial soda, which was a blueberry cream, all right. City soda, doesn't say what the hell flavor that was. Champagne cola with a K. Chocolate cream pie. Club soda, coconut cream pie. Cola, cherry cola, a cream soda that is really actually pretty good. Diet chocolate cream pie, diet frosh, diet raspberry cream, fruit punch, ginger ale, aka Fago Gold, grape, pineapple watermelon, cotton candy, jazz and bluesberry, key lime pie, kiwi strawberry, mango tango, moon mist green, red and blue, morning mist, orange chug, original black raspberry, peach, pineapple orange, raspberry blueberry, red cherry, and even fucking rhubarb pie. Bro, name me one other goddamn soda company on earth that has made a rhubarb pie flavored soda.
I don't think I can.
Like, my guy. Fago legitimately is super impressive from its origins all the way up into its current incarnation. It is just a weird ass thing that ICP decided to fixate on, and it brought a lot of national awareness to the brand. But yeah, I didn't even finish the whole list there. Like, I was about halfway down that fucker. And you know the Rip It energy drinks and the Ohana Punch drinks you see in the stores too?
No, but I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah, they're usually in like Fred's and dollar stores and shit like that, you know? Family Dollar, that kind of thing. Ohana is a canned punch company. That's Fago. Rip It, that's an energy drink brand. Also Fago.
I was like, Kibbles is up in fucking Seattle. I mean, like up there at the dollar store costs $2. So
You should be closer to it. They're a Michigan-based company.
that's it. It's just, you know, like I said, the dollar store costs $2 up there. So
No.
It is
But
a
no.
$1.25 tree.
No, Fago's fucking wild though, because like it was just two guys that started out with a bakery business, right? And they used to make a bunch of cakes and shit during the winter. But during the summer, they didn't have nearly as much business. They, caught and sold fish every once in a while. Maybe every once in a blue moon, they make some ice cream pops or something like that and sell that shit around the neighborhood. That's it.
that kind of shit.
At some point, oh, good.
I was like, that kind of shit always fascinates me. It's like how Wrigley's gum got started as a soap company, but then people were buying the soap just to get the gum. And it's like, damn.
Or like Listerine started out as a fucking floor cleaner.
Yep.
Like Listerine was supposed to be Pine Sol, but yeah, it just wasn't.
It's like, imagine being the guy finding that out. It's like, oh, so did you try the new floor cleaner? He's all like, floor cleaner? And he just spits it
Right.
out. He's like, it's delicious. He's like, it's floor cleaner, dude. It's like that's why like Fabulosa couldn't have come out back in the day, because somebody would have drank that shit in
Dude,
a heartbeat.
somebody would drink that shit for real. Fabuloso is awesome.
Every time I see this shit, I'm just like, man, that looks like it would be good as hell, and I want to try it, but
Like, bro, you ever smell that shit?
That's what was it? Fucking not Lysol. It might have been Lysol actually. It was
Was it kind of an amber colored liquid?
no. Lysol started. I think it was Lysol. Lysol, the hardcore kitchen cleaner, the shit that fucking sanitizes everything.
Yep.
That started as a feminine hygiene product.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can believe it. I thought you were talking about Pine Sol for a minute.
that
The burning sensation tells you that it's working.
I was just like, that
That's
must
the
have been
power
a
of Pine Sol.
powerful ass stink. Like, just Jesus Christ.
All right. They was trying to make Axe body spray for women back in the day, and it just turned into fucking Lysol.
I could see that because I could see Axe body spray actually being Lysol for dudes, just because it's just like, look, you fuckers stink.
Well, dude, do you know what the historical precedent is for wearing jackets? Like real shit?
It was basically just to cover up BO, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
It's just like powder
Because
wigs.
as soon as you take that fucking jacket off, you unleash the Kraken.
Exactly. It was like powder wigs was the same thing because they were perfumed and kept your BO away, and they also covered up syphilis scars.
Yup. Or balding, or just what have you, you know. Lice, all that shit. They didn't have to worry about that.
Got a stanky ass. You put on the wig, and everybody's like, "Oh man, his wig is so fine. His ass must be beautiful."
But no, back to the Fago thing. Like, it was just two bakers trying to make money during the summer, and they really couldn't find a stable market to make a lot of money off of. So get this shit, right? They turned their fucking cake frosting flavors into soda. And the originals were orange, grape, and red pop. Yeah, that's how Fago got started, man. Wild ass shit.
We can all go home and say we learned something tonight.
Hell yeah.
Now I know.
And now I
Also,
guess
Kibble,
half the
something
battle.
else you might have been interested in for the novelty of it. Fago at one point released Fago Chateau, or Chateau Fago rather, and Fago Brow, which were non-alcoholic red wine and beer flavored sodas. Yeah. So again, like literally the most fucking creative soda company I've ever heard of. But they are kind of cheap and shitty. Just they can afford to be creative, I guess. But yeah, some of their flavors are pretty good. Like Moon Mist is legitimately the best knockoff Mountain Dew you'll ever find.
Is that counting Mountain?
Yes, it is counting Stars and Stripes soda brand Mountain.
You're just kind of like
And
Mountain
also
what? Just
Citrus Dew, Mountain Holler, Mountain Lightning, all that shit.
God, those always killed me. It's like just Mountain.
No, Mountain and Mountain Holler are the two that make me laugh.
Every time I hear Mountain, it just makes me think of something like, like the Power Surge flavor, like Gun!
Right.
The weirdest bootleg I ever saw was Martian Dew, like Martian from Mars.
Oh, yeah?
That's
I think that was
fantastic.
like a Halloween themed one. It looked green. It looked like Mountain Dew. I never got it though.
I think the weirdest, like, knockoff soda I've ever seen probably would have to be just Stars and Stripes Mountain. Because, I mean, like, they didn't even fucking try with that one, dude.
No.
Like, D-, absolute lack of effort. You turned in a project, but that's all you're getting.
You get that literal fucking A for effort.
No, you don't. The exact opposite of that, actually. Excuse me. That chronic gets strong tonight. Yeah, I got that, what is it, Blueberry Headband is the strain I'm smoking tonight. Fantastic shit, by the way. Very highly recommend that to any of our connoisseurs out there.
Yeah, for the 2 people watching us.
Yeah, right. But for anyone that watches this in the future, maybe.
Maybe because basically they were always like, oh yeah, when you make a YouTube stream, just go ahead and assume it's going to be a video and just treat it as such. And I'm like, all right, works for me.
I mean, we're just going to do our usual thing, We can't really do anything else.
That's pretty much it. You're just going to see me up here and struggle bust some fucking art and see what happens.
Yep. We chat about random ass stuff and play Brain Cell Hot Potato.
Brain Cell Hot Potato is the best game, though.
Right. Super fun. Always new and entertaining. It's the game that never gets old.
I had something to go there,
Yeah.
but I was like, wait, fuck, you too.
Yeah, no. This blueberry headband shit, it actually legitimately does kind of have a blueberry flavor to it. It's really impressive how like certain strains will do that. Like you can in fact a citrus flavor to it, strawberry, all that shit. I've even had some called cereal milk that legitimately the smoke felt creamy. It's weird.
Fucking druids out here making this shit.
I know, right? Oh, lemon.
Yes.
Speaking of which, would you mind giving a quick description of the character that I'm going to be playing in your upcoming campaign?
Yes.
I want to hear your words on that.
So, in this strange anachronistic world, we've got this guy just rolling the streets, doing what he does best, and that's pushing drugs. Doesn't matter what the drug it is, as long as he's got his hands on it and he finds the right customer, he'll turn a profit. And my God,
Maybe better
profit
with
is
intoxicant.
Now, see, intoxicant. That can be anything, including friendship. And
Like,
that's how he stays part of the party.
It's like, hey man, you want some friends?
Yeah, he's got a pretty dope little cane. Big fan of that weapon. That was very thematically appropriate, I felt.
You're not doing the War Razor anymore?
Oh, I'm doing more than that. The War Razor is just in his pocket in case he needs something to cut somebody with. That's just like a straight razor for like shaving and shit,
Oh yeah.
He's actually got a repertoire of weapons as opposed to just the one weapon.
No, my main weapon's gonna be the battle axe for Gillum.
You mean
I
the
don't-
cane?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is, but that sounds cool.
So you ever seen in a Catholic church? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lemon.
I was going to say,
Oh.
imagine a rod with a ball at the end of it.
I was like, wait, this you told me about this before, the thing
Yeah.
they used to fling out holy water.
Yeah.
Because I kept thinking you were talking about a censure for a moment, but no, it was the holy water.
No. This is a totally different thing. Looks like a little baby rattle or something with holes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm going to be using the battle axe for Gillum to sling intoxicant laced water onto my foes and hopefully get some pretty cool effects out of it.
He'll put LSD in his pockets and go jump in the pool.
Right.
Dude, okay, so I talked a little bit about I think last week, or maybe earlier this week, about listening to one of my favorite podcasts talk about MK Ultra. To hear the just plethora of bullshit they tried to do with LSD is like the wildest thing in the world to me.
Oh, yeah. Dude, look no further than the fucking John C. Lilly experiment.
Uh-huh. Like, Jesus.
Like, there was the peak of, what are you doing?
Like, dude, listening to this shit was just absolutely wild. Like, listening to trying to make fucking mind control with LSD, ruining some people's lives with this shit.
Yeah, we're going to give you so much of this stuff that you think you teleported to a different dimension for about a year.
My favorite was the guy who literally used CIA money to start his own, basically, brothel, where he would spy on people from a little hidden room that had a toilet and a mini bar in it, and that was it.
Huh.
So
You
you're
had to
just
get up
like-
for nothing.
No, man, he had to get it for nothing. He could just shit and watch people, fuck.
I'm sure that's what he was doing in there.
I mean, listening to the dude, like, his whole thing was like he was supposed to be seeing how LSD could be used to basically make these guys do whatever. But I was like,
Yeah, but you know a bottle of Jergens made it into that
You-
mini bar.
you know, there was Jergens in there, and like there was a box of Kleenex in there too, or he might have been
No,
one
it's
of the
toilet
toilet paper
paper,
fucker. I would say like
Yeah.
toilet paper is more versatile for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But no, that kind of shit was going on in there, and like the more I read about it, I was like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, they were into some goofy, like cartoonish kind of stuff back in the day, just trying to get the edge any way they could.
Oh, absolutely.
They're just like, all right, so what if we could teach dolphins to speak English? And then we could make the dolphins work for us for the military. Like, of course that's the next step. Right?
Of course, that's where
Don't
we're gonna
forget-
go.
The dolphin. Dolly. Don't forget what they did to Dolly.
Yep. We can't talk about that bit on here. I
No.
mean, we kind of can, because we're not going to get demonetized. Because we're probably already demonetized 5 times over anyway.
I would say I've never been monetized anyway because, like I said, I'm not a cute girl, so they're just kind of like, I'm gonna give this fucker
That's
some
it.
money.
But no, the John C. Lilly experiments is wild because they tried to teach them English, and then they figured out that the dolphins could kind of mimic mouth sounds through their blowhole. So, again, imagine, like, you know, somebody asks you to speak Spanish or, like, Mandarin through your nose. And it'd be, like, absolutely understandable.
You know who else can kind of mimic, and this is just a fun animal fact. There is a video, and you can look it up. There is a seal.
Yes,
seal
the
that
seal that's
hung
just
around
like...
Yeah, the seal that hung around the Scotsman, and the seal could speak the seal could repeat words in a Scottish accent.
Yep.
That, you know, that kind of reminds me of something that I've always thought was hilarious. One time when we went to New Orleans, I got suckered into going like a pretty fancy little restaurant in there, and the guy
Did they have live lobsters?
They didn't have live lobsters. They had live lobsters out of Frito, sons of bitches. But we got in there and our waiter came up, and he had a particular accent, and I was trying to place it. And I was just like, what is his accent? It sounds French, but it's also, there's like a lilt to it. And I was like, but he looks Asian.
Maybe like...
Well, I asked him, I was like,
Vietnamese.
we finally been asking him, I was like, well, sir, I was like, your accent's very unique. Where did you get it? He's like, oh, well, basically what happened is, he said, he's like, I'm from Thailand. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
Okay.
He's like, however, before I came here, I went to France. I learned my French from somebody from Spain. So he had a Spanish accent when he talked French, and then he learned his English from an Italian man. No, I'm sorry, not Italian man. He learned
accent was all over the fucking map. You couldn't place it.
he learned his English from an Irishman. That's who it was, because he kept saying words like lad and like he's like, and there was always this kind of like fat and bigota kind of like lilt to it, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, why does he sound? He sounds Mexican. He sounds French. Then he has like an Asian spacing to his word. What the fuck is going on?
Words that would change accents. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like as he was speaking, his accent would change, and I was just like, I gotta figure out where the fuck this is from.
This motherfucker's a lingual ditto. What the hell?
That is it. And then it makes me think of like one of my least favorite things, which was an interview I saw with Larry the Cable Guy. Don't ask me why I saw an interview with Larry the Cable Guy, but it came up one day, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Well, yeah, you know, I'm a vocal chameleon. Like, I got a cousin who's from Nebraska, and he'll come down. I'll be like, he'll be looking at me, he'll be like, hey, cuz, I'm glad to see you. And then I got a friend who's from Canada. He'll come to me like, hey, poutine beaver, hey, Larry." And then I got a friend who's like from Mexico. He'll come to me and be like, hola, Larry. And I was like, somebody get this man the fuck off the screen, please.
Please take this man's career away from him, please.
Take this man's millions of dollars he got just from the phrase "get her done." That's
The
that's
only
what
one
he
of
did.
the ones that was from the Blue Collar Comedy Tour that was worth a damn was Ron White.
It's true.
Ron White's still funny as fuck.
I would listen to Ron White. But like,
They asked him if he was drunk driving. He's like, "Nah, I'm an old pro."
I'm basically just copying this reference for her tonight because I've never drawn her before, which always makes me feel kind of scrubby. But
Yeah, fuck him.
It'll be fine.
I feel like at this point in my life I ought to be better at this kind of shit. But oh well.
this point in my life, my friends should be discussing mergers and acquisitions and yachts.
I'm gonna acquisition.
Don't fall into the
ass.
yuppie lifestyle.
Remember, your network is your net worth. You gotta hustle. Did I just
That was
get
so bad it
the
killed
answer?
Santa.
Oh, okay.
You kill Santa with the hustle
Sorry,
culture.
Santa.
Santa hustled so hard he died.
All right.
You know,
He sunk down into the pudding pit below.
my dentist recognized that I was fucking real. Said I was grinding in my sleep.
Grind my teeth in my sleep on that hustle all the time. Let's get it. It just what?
Always on that hustle.
That makes me think of that fucked up post I always see of the guy where he's like, post a picture of like the shittiest drawers you've ever seen in your life, and he's just like, I'm always hustling. I ain't got time to wipe fully because I'm always hustling. Y'all out here with clean asses, but I'm just out here hustling all day. And I'm like, please be satire.
Yeah, you hustling with the itchy butthole.
Exactly. You got a butthole feels like sandpaper looking at that shit.
The day I learned that some guys think it's gay to wipe was the day I realized that, you know, our species is doomed.
That right there is pretty ragged.
Just doomed to die from itchy butthole. How does? Well, that's like every time I see the ones, it's always a black girl posts this shit. It's like, ladies, is it gay if your man likes dessert? And I'm just like, where the fuck are y'all getting this?
What?
Yeah, it's always like something like this. She's like, and then like she comes there trying to defend herself. He's like, look, he's like, it's only gay if he orders the dessert. It's like if he wants some, he can have some of mine or some shit. And I'm just like, bitch, who the fuck is teaching you?
Just like, is it effeminate to wash your hair or something? Like, what? Do you know how to human?
There's just some wild ass shit like that, and I'm just like, just enjoy shit, people.
Was
Jesus.
you raised in a fucking frat house by wolves or something? Like, what's the story here, man?
The wolves kick you out and be like, you were too wild. You were just too wild for that shit. I can't be raising this hoodlum shit.
Absolutely parentless behavior.
This is some straight up maidenless behavior, y'all. Which is probably my favorite thing to come out of Elden Ring is the term maidenless.
But will it ever be foolishness, Dante? Foolishness.
Probably not.
Because like that shit even got referenced in Ultra Kill, man.
That's a game I want to try someday.
It looks really fun. Lemon's been playing through it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I've been watching Lemon like just tear people up on it, but I was torn between that or Scorn. I can't really get either one at the moment, so I gotta wait a little
Now
bit.
you know what you need to be getting.
What's that?
You need to be getting some money saved up for the next Warhammer sale to come around.
Man.
Get a copy of Mechanicus. Because, bro, I'll tell you what, like, real shit, if you played Mechanicus on stream, you could do a run in like 3-4 hours. So that's like, what, 2 streams?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Right now, the big one I'm waiting on is Dark Tide to get here. I'm
I'm
excited
telling you,
for that
whenever
shit.
the next Warhammer sale comes around, Mechanicus is going to be like $5 again, like it was when I got it.
Oh yeah, if it's $5,
That
I'll
is a
get it.
must. Yeah, no, it's not worth the 30 that they're asking for it normally. But the last Warhammer Skull sale that went on, like, on Steam a while back,
Yeah.
I snagged the sucker for $5. So, and it was way worth more than that. I'd have easily paid 15 or 20 for it and been happy. But yeah, no, I would wait till the next sale for it for sure. And also, Chaos Gate looks really fun.
I actually have. What is the one I have?
Chaos Gate Demon Hunters is the one I'm thinking of.
I have Chaos Bane. I have not started. Travalis gave it to me for more of his Humble Bundle stuff. And it's kind of like the Diablo clone.
No, the one I'm talking about is more like
I know which one you're
like
talking
an
about.
XCOM.
That's the XCOM with the Grey Knights, isn't it?
Yeah, with the Grey Knights fighting off a Nurgle infestation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grandpappy Nurgle.
I actually have something on order, the Dark Mechanicum novel, the Grey Knight series, because I got the first one in a Humble Bundle sale, but this one has them dealing with a Demon Titan, and I was like, well, I want in on that.
Man, I still need to finish Infinite and the Divine. I left off on that a good ways into it. I was like 7.5 hours into that audiobook. Fun ass book though.
It seemed like it. I've got that sampler I got from Games Workshop where it's got like all the different ones. I read the Perturabo book in it, but you know, Perturabo is just not a pleasant person.
No.
But it does have a Caiaphas Cain in it. It also has a Gortrek from Gortrek and Felix in it. So.
Also, I think it may have been Perturabo, actually. Remind me, what is his traits again? Isn't he the one that has like the shitload of machine guns on him?
He's the Primarch of the Iron Hands, and like his whole thing is like siege warfare and all this stuff, and he's always like the most stoic and like the most. He's kind of like the antithesis to Rogel Dorn, where you know like. Dorn's about building fortifications and protecting folks, and then like
this is what I'm thinking of. It is Perturabo.
Yeah,
bro, like straight up, I can show you a YouTube video that will turn you around on him.
Who's a YouTube video by?
Shit. Let me look him up real quick. I'm trying to remember the name of it right now. It's 40K something, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
He's got that one video or. They did the Primarch books, which are like the ones that kind of tell about their backstory and all that, and they're pretty cool. I want to get the Perturabo one because like I heard he has like a really interesting backstory, and I want to know more about it. But like
here it is, Adeptus Ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, Adeptus Ridiculous. Like they have a particular episode covering Perturabo where they talk about a lot of his backstory and like some of his motivations and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I come out the other side of it kind of liking him. Like, I didn't like him at first, but then I heard more and more of his shit, and I'm like, you know what? He's actually pretty cool.
A lot of his stuff, though, is just the way they portray him. He's kind of just always pissed because, like, he kind of gets the, like, the shit end of the stick and about everything.
Yeah. Like the dude is super cursed where he gets fucked over constantly and not allowed to, like, go to his fullest.
Yeah. That's like
and the thing is, the biggest problem is, Perturabo's always fucking right.
That's pretty much it.
Like every single time he says some shit, it's like, yep, nope, he's 100% correct. You should listen to Perturabo. He is knowing exactly what the hell he's talking about. And nobody does. And then he's just like, God damn it, why didn't you listen to me?
I heard a couple times, like a couple of different channels talking about, like, if Perturabo had like a bigger command role in the Horus Heresy, Horus would have won. But like, since he basically just kind of relegated him to like the back row for the most part, because like I said, he was made as like an antithesis to Rogel Dorn, and Rogel Dorn was the one who like constructed most of the defenses for Terra and everything. So it's like, why wouldn't you want to use the guy who's like literally made to counter this guy? That's like that's like, you know, I'm playing Pokemon, I'm doing the fucking Elite Four, I get the Lance, and I'm like, you know what? I really think my normal types are going to handle these dragon types.
Yeah, right.
Also,
although I don't know, like I managed to kind of brute force the shit with a combination of like stupid moves that I had on my Pokemon back in Generation 1.
Yeah, well, back in Generation 1, they had a lot of stupid stuff, like the fact that poison or toxic would get like ridiculously stacked to the point like it would just murder everything. But
no, I had what was it? I had Vine Whip, Leech Seed, I think Sleep Powder, and Solar Beam on my Venusaur.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, dude, that Venusaur, he could chew through the entire Elite Four by himself.
Someone can do that.
Like, if I had the stuff to replenish his move points and, like, all of his health and shit between fights, oh, absolutely, I could sweep him. No problems.
I think I might be starting to regress.
Uh-oh. trying to remember what my original team was because I remember I had Venusaur, Articuno. Fuck, who the hell else did I have? I know I had at least one ghost type in there, but I think it was just a Haunter. I don't think I ever managed to get a Gengar back in the Pokemon Red days.
I did, thanks to my brother. Yeah, because I remember like the first time I saw one was when I was going through the Elite Four and Agatha had hers, and I was just like, that's the coolest fucking Pokemon. I need that.
No, I traded with a buddy of mine at school one time to evolve his, but then we immediately traded back because I also needed to evolve a what was it, a Sandshrew? I think it was that I was trading to evolve.
Yeah.
I was trying to get Sandslash out of it, and we traded that for Gengar and traded back. Yeah, I managed to fill out damn near the entire Pokedex except for one single really stubborn asshole of a Pokemon.
Which one was that?
Tauros.
Yeah.
So, like, dude, I swear to God, the Red Safari Zone is so tedious. You run up to a Pokemon, throw a ball at it, it runs away. You run up to a Pokemon, throw some bait out, it eats the bait, you throw a Pokeball at it, it runs away. You hit that fucker with a rock, he runs away. Dude, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's why it took me so long to finally get my damn Scyther out of there. It was just like that shit all the time.
That's the weird thing. Like, the third time I ran through the Safari Zone, I got a fucking Scyther. Could not catch a Tauros to save my life. Like, I beat the game and went back to the Safari Zone several times trying to clear it out. Couldn't do it, man. Could not get that last Pokemon for the Pokedex. I even had a fucking Mewtwo.
Damn.
Can't catch Tauros, though.
No,
And, dude,
you gotta trade, man. You gotta trade sometimes, you know?
dude, what's really fucked up? I didn't even catch Mewtwo the way you're supposed to do it. With the Master Ball, I wasted that shit on Articuno because Articuno was being particularly stubborn and just got on my nerves, so I just wasted it on him because I really wanted him. Turned around, caught Mewtwo with like 98 fucking Ultra Balls. He finally landed in there and stayed. Just literally had to throw numbers at the wall until one of them stuck.
Sometimes that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I had 99 that I could carry and got through 98 of them and was about to go down to the basic Pokeballs and keep trying. Because I had him as low as I could get his health managed. I had him like hit with like shifting paralysis and like frozen and fucking poison effects and all that shit up to that point. And I didn't know it didn't stack back then, but I thought it did. So I was just laying into his ass with everything I had. And I had to still almost use every single Ultra Ball I would carry at my max capacity to get it.
Man, I miss playing Pokemon. Those games are fun.
They are fun.
The problem is Game Freak really doesn't innovate on the formula enough to make them like stand out from each other anymore.
That's the thing.
It's just a rotating series of new shit to collect.
Well, see, the thing I like is they're pretty good about making like enjoyable characters. Like,
Yeah.
That's always like the fun part to me is like meeting the new characters because like going through Sword and Shield, I really liked the cast of characters I had in there. You know, they like everybody was like oohing on about Nessa, and I was like, oh, she's really cool. I bet she's like super elegant. And then like like you meet her, she's like I'm here to teach you about the elegance of water Pokemon. Then you beat her, and she's like, what the fuck, mate? And I'm just like, okay, I love that shit. So
It's great.
I like the characters, and I also like the new Pokemon because as much as I'm like adverse to the meta of Pokemon, I also like the new combinations and types of Pokemon that they'll pop out.
Yeah.
Like, I was very happy to see with Sword and Shield that there was a lot more fairy representation because I like the fairy type, but there's not that many good fairy types.
Mm.
But then you had like, you know, like Galarian Weezing, which was like a fairy poison type, or was he poison fairy steel? I can't remember. But
No, what I
don't
mean
know.
by like gameplay innovation is not so much that, or like the Pokemon battle system, even though that is kind of the main thing. I mean, the overworld is just kind of like very samey.
I knew what you were
well,
getting at.
Yeah,
not to sound like
They change like a couple things, where it's like, hey, you can have your dudes follow you, and hey, you can, different graphics, but it's
like darkness
Well,
and
you know what you're
caves
getting.
and shit like that, just more often.
well here's
Or
something
like,
You know what you're getting.
here's something that's pretty cool. I think they're doing with the new one.
mm,
You can challenge any gym at any time. So there's no
That's
this gym
kinda
is
cool.
the low level gym. This
that's a
is
neat
the,
evolution. Yeah,
I thought it was a pretty cool thing. There,
yeah,
so
that's a good
there's-
gameplay evolution because that should have been there a long time ago. Because I mean, there's
Same.
nothing stopping Ash from going and just being like, "Fucking square up, Giovanni, let's go."
That's pretty much it. And then like it's something they actually cover as a like a canon thing, because like Pokemon Adventures, the Pokemon manga, had a bit
Yeah.
where like when he challenges Brock, if I remember correctly, he challenges Brock, and Brock is basically like looks through what he has, and he takes out like who his weakest Pokemon. He takes out like a Geodude and like a little Onix, and he's gonna
Yeah.
fight with those. So because Red in this here is showing up, and he's like level 10, 12, something like that. So I think that's a cool
Yeah.
cool way to do things.
Like having it scale a little bit is kind of a neat idea for sure. But the problem is you still have to chew through all 6 Pokemon, so unless they have like different tiles basically for them to equip.
I think basically
Like-
how it'll go is they'll have different teams depending on like what level you challenge them at. That's how I'm
Yeah,
understanding it.
like if you're challenging them at like a low level, it needs to be like the base form of the Pokemon. You know what I mean?
From the way I understand it to be basically like that. So like say you challenge the ghost gym. Like I don't know what gyms are, so I'm just making them up. So say you challenge the ghost gym. Well, the ghost gym would basically be like, she'd come out there and say she would have like 2 Ghastlies, and like her anchor Pokemon would probably be like, I don't know, it'd probably be like oh shit, the dog.
Like, bro, I got 2 examples of like gameplay innovations I would like to see in the Pokemon series, just as like for instance.
What's that?
The first one is okay. So talking about overworld shit, like, bro, tell me that you do not still fondly remember the downhill segments of Red.
Those will be pretty great.
Like, you just can't go uphill. Get fucked. Like, it's too steep. Even though it's in 2D, you can't really tell. But you're constantly being flung towards the bottom of the hill.
And you're going down there in a fucking hurry.
Oh yeah, dude. Because if you got on the bike and went downhill, you would zoom. But yeah, like that, I would like to see more, weird shit like that in the overworld. It's like, oh, here's a new condition to deal with.
Yeah.
And then secondly, like more specific mini games and gyms would be nice.
Yeah.
Like, say you go to the water gym or some shit. Maybe you have to teach your Pokemon how to swim. Mash the button like a WarioWare game. Just do like a quick thing like that. Or like you go to the fighting gym, kick the fucking punching bag a couple of times with Hitmonlee.
Yeah,
I think that'd be kind of I think that would be a neat little thing to add to it. It's not really hard to do that kind of shit because, like I said, you can do it as a WarioWare formula, and those are made in people's free time. I think that would be a cool thing to add. That's just me though.
I think it would, and like I don't know. Part of me is also like I'm also happy just anytime they add new things to like the battle system. Where-
Yeah.
I don't know if it's random every time. I doubt it is, but something I thought that was cool they did with Sword and Shield was they decided to, instead of just have like a set Elite Four, what they did is, since the Pokemon League in this is set up almost like the World Cup, kinda, or it's like soccer team set up for the most part. I thought it was pretty cool that they were doing this here, and basically, like when you get to the end of the game, the trainers or the gym leaders have like a little tournament, and that decides who is going to be like your Elite Four, basically.
Hmm.
And so they show up with different teams than what they had earlier. They got stronger teams and all this. I was like, what's up, Prowler? And
Yeah, they had something similar to that in one of the Mega Man EXE games or like Mega Man Battle Network, depending on your flavor.
yeah.
They had like an evolving bracket that you would go through depending on which game you were playing, and then like if you played New Game Plus or Plus Plus or Plus 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 all the way up to like 5 of them,
Yeah.
like the bracket would change every single time. So you would fight like new bosses and shit, or you would just fight new combinations of them one after the other.
That was basically this. Like, there's a champion, and like basically everybody's like trying to challenge this champion, and so like the gym leaders will get there and duke it out, and then like since you're the new up and comer, you get to be in there. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Oh yeah.
It's just the main thing I always run into. I love the Pokemon games, but I stay out of a lot of the fan stuff just because a lot of people are really toxic about the shit. I don't want to be toxic about one of my favorite games, you know? I want to be, helpful, cool. But
Yeah.
the main thing I run into is when a lot of people want to change like Pokemon game stuff, they want to just like completely change everything about it. And I'm like, yeah, there can be some innovation. That's cool. We don't need to make it an entirely new game. Because like they've tried making like newer versions of it, and I'm like, the only problem is sometimes they have is like, instead of just making it into like a new type of game or a new franchise or whatever, they just try to slap a Pokemon tag on it because they know people will buy it that way.
Yep. Hey, do you guys like Tekken?
I do like Tekken.
Do you like Pika-Mans?
Pika-Mans are pretty cool.
What if the Pika-Mans was the Tekken?
What?
I don't.
Pokken Fighters now available.
All I gotta say to that is what? You guys don't have phones?
God. Also, Prowler, that is a top tier ass reaction image. I will give you that. You know what?
I regret nothing.
God, I am sucking on a whole new level tonight. The only good thing I've drawn tonight is Punk.
Punk is great.
I can't seem to draw Regaiden ladies. I can't draw hair tonight. But it's like
Draw hair a lot better than I fucking draw hair.
Hair is a bitch and a half. It's like
It is. That's why I stick to fucking animals, because you can just draw some squiggly lines. There, it's fur.
it's something I gotta be able to be, because I was thinking earlier today, like I wanted to start trying to do more like little shit posty comics and shit, because like that's something I have to admit, I'm not really growing anymore, and this is my first YouTube stream, so I'm not gonna be down because 3 people showed up, but at the same time kind of like I gotta figure out something, but I'm trying not to be a downer about it. I'm just trying to think, okay, I just need to do something. I gotta work harder on something. So
You are a failure. You didn't succeed on the first try.
like I said,
Son.
that's why I'm not getting too down on this one, because I'm just like, it's the first time we tried it. We're gonna see where this goes.
Yeah, no, we got time to grow.
My dog is giving me the eyes. I'll be right back. I'm gonna take him out.
All right.
Plus, I mean, the thing is, it's not like we don't do this all the fucking time.
That's true. I like doing it, so as long as I like doing it, I'm going to keep doing it. So
That's it. We have fun.
it started out as like something to make me keep drawing, and honestly, it helps. Even like when I have a nights like tonight where I'm just kind of sucking a fat one with everything. So
Yeah, but you know what? Even though you're sucking a fat one on the drawing, we're still being entertaining.
that's true. And some nights after I suck a fat one long enough, it just seems to be I'll come back and like knock something out of the park. Plus, I can't really
There you
work
go.
on what I want. Not what I want to work. Well, what I want to work on and what I need to work on. I can't really work on it because I just don't know how cheeky I can be with YouTube yet. I'll have to get those boundaries figured out sooner or later.
Oh, completely unrelated to anything, but found out about something kind of neat today.
What's that?
And I know Prowler will dig this. So, my buddy Aaron was telling me about a crossover that was being done with Ultraman, I guess for like Shin Ultraman or whatever. Apparently, Monster Rancher is letting you raise like actual Ultraman villains.
Motherfucking Monster Rancher.
Right?
God, I love Monster Rancher.
Doing like an amiibo kind of thing where it's like a toys to video games connection.
Yeah.
And you can go out and get these little like fucking Ultraman figures, scan it in, bing bang boom, you got it in the game.
You know, that's something I always appreciate. Yeah, I know and a lot of like video game companies are doing it nowadays, and I really appreciate it. It's like the combination, like the multimedia approach to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like what I was talking about with like the short stories for Dark Tide and like the actual environmental storytelling in the game. I just think that's cool as hell.
I just realized the fucking $1 million idea.
What's that?
You know what should be getting the little amiibo knockoff kind of figures where they've got the little like chip in there that can sense the shit?
What's that?
I hate to say it, but it's super perfect for it. Metabots needs to come back with the die-cast model kits and just have the platform be the chip that you put in the back of the Metabot to activate them. And the platform has the fucking, microchip in it with the NFC technology or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
That'll just scan in Metabee or fucking Kabuto or whoever the hell. Peppercat, any of that bullshit.
I mean, that's honestly a
Broken the code.
pretty cool idea. Like,
That's what they were
Like,
trying
bro,
to do back
imagine
in
if
the
you
day.
could. Yeah, imagine if you could just pull that shit off of there and then you have an actual, like, die-cast model kit that you've built that you could fuck with. Like, it's small as hell, but it's still neat. Crazy collectability right there. Boom. You can mix and match your shit. Put something in there where it detects what arm parts is on there and everything like that. You're good. You're laughing. $50 million sold right there first year. Go. Because Metabots was always kind of destined to do that kind of shit, you know?
yeah, Metabots, I could see Metabots doing that like a heartbeat. Because like with that, and the thing I always liked about Metabots was that mechanic they had where it was like, okay, if you lose in Metabots, well, you lose like part of your robot. I always kind of thought that was I always thought that was a pretty cool thing.
Like, alright, that's a pretty good grenade launcher on that arm, so, give me the left.
Because I remember like there was one episode where like he won against a couple of folks. And he was like trying to get parts for Metabee, but he kept giving Metabee all these parts he just could not do shit with.
Yep. You gotta plan this shit out, man. You can't give the guy one tank tread leg. Come on.
Because it was like I think he gave.
That's
like,
why you whoop his ass.
Yeah, he gave him like this big ass rocket launcher or some shit, and he like Metabee's just falling over with it. But
Yeah, you beat his ass in the meta battle, and then you tell him, hey man, you wanna go double or nothing? And you take both of his legs.
break both his legs, peel them from his robot.
Bro, I got tank legs now.
So you can't stop me. I got fucking tank legs.
Like, bro, just straight up, you could even do the Mega Man meme. Now I've got your power. The real fucked up part is, remember, in that show, it was the chip that contained the personality and the voice and all that shit. Bro, the head, like, I want your robot's head. Give me your buddy's skull right now. Like, that's a totally legit thing that happens.
Mm-hmm.
How wild is that shit?
Like, this is real shit that happened.
This is like the most insane version of Pokemon that ever existed. Was I'm taking body parts.
It's like, imagine like you get your ass beat and it's like, give me Pikachu's legs. Excuse me? Give me
Brand new
Pikachu's
game.
legs.
Brand new game comes out. Main character sitting there talking to Metabee. Metabee just looks at him and says, "Feed me a stray cat."
You're just like, excuse me? Feed me a stray cat. I didn't stutter.
He just turns into American Psycho all of a sudden. Turns out the kid's been delusional the whole time. Just been running around beating the hell out of other people and thought they were Metabots. Metabee was all a projection of his mind to defend him.
Metabee just over here, just like, I told you, buddy, you're never going to be able to escape Johnny Law.
Better than the super crazy dark version of fighting Foodons, I'm sure.
Where it's just like a couple line cooks duking it out in the back over who gets to go home early.
I don't know, they would still be cooking up monsters, but they'd be like horrible eldritch beings. Like, imagine a fucking plate of spaghetti or a hamburger brought to life and, like, just ready to beat the shit out of someone.
You know what? That's legit.
Because you saw that
Okay.
show, Fighting Foodons, back in the day, didn't you?
I did, and I just kind of had a
Yeah.
thought. You know what needs to be like the Mewtwo of fighting Foodons?
What's that?
The turducken.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. The turducken needs to be the Mewtwo.
'Cause, like, just imagine
Or the
that,
Mew,
like,
where it's like the secret hidden one, you know?
oh god, that'd be great too. Because I mean, just imagine you're there, like you're getting ready to fight this dude, and you're like, all right, it's like, what's like, I'm fighting the king of fighting Foodons. What does he got? What's he gonna have? Is it like a soup monster? Is it gonna be like some sort of like seafood monster? What is this? And then a fucking turducken comes out.
No, you know what it is? It's a turducken, and it has a partner that's a Pousse Cafe.
Oh god,
Because you know what that drink is, right?
I heard it in a while, so I have not heard it.
Look
in a while.
that shit up real quick and put an image on stream. That will immediately drive home my point.
I don't know.
Pousse Cafe.
Pousse Cafe. Oh no.
Bruh. That is legitimately a fucking drink that I've seen a professional bartender that does a YouTube channel where he shows you how to mix shit up. He did a video of that and straight up told you, do not order this unless it is very empty in the bar. And there's no business at all to hold up because it's going to take the bartender like 15, 20 minutes to make this drink and do it right. And on top of that, there's no set recipe. They're like, you can just stack any ingredients that have different levels of sugar and alcohol content in them. So they have to make it up on the fly. They have to layer it in there perfectly so that it doesn't like actually mix and has those distinct layers that you see that makes it so pretty.
Yeah.
They have to make it taste worth a fucking damn whenever it's all like stacked on top of each other, because you don't do it in one shot. You sip through the layers. If you do it in one shot, you're drinking it like a heathen and it's going to taste awful.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, straight up, this is like a super insanely complex drink. If you order this, they're probably going to be pissed at you because somebody in the bar is going to see it and then immediately go, oh, I want one of those. That looks really cool. Ugh. Now the bartender's tied up for a fucking hour and a half making like 6 Pousse Cafes.
Yeah, no.
So like that is the queen to the turducken's king.
I could see that. Like, both of those sound absolutely horrifying.
Just so complex.
Right? And like I said, the worst part is there's no set recipes. You have to make it up on the fly, and it has to taste good. Just whatever shit we got around here that'll stack. But speaking of which, there's actually a series that Santa showed me a while back that I still hadn't finished because I've been very slowly savoring it.
Yeah.
It's called Bartender.
Oh, dude,
Very generic.
The OST of this shit. It has such a great soundtrack.
Right? But, like, dude, the show itself is really good because they have really interesting stories on there for every character that comes into the bar and needs a drink.
Yeah.
The framing device is fucking awesome. The main character, the bartender in question, is super cool. And they actually legitimately show you fucking, like, name brand alcohols in the show that they've gotten the rights to portray exactly as they look in real life. And they'll show you how to make fucking drinks. And then the end of the episode has the drink ingredients listed on screen for a couple of seconds.
Can't argue that. That's actually really cool.
Yeah. It's just like this super badass series that came out of fucking nowhere. That, like, if you got the right eyes for it and the right taste, shit's incredible. Wish it got 3 seasons, man.
I remember it because I found it through the Classy V jukebox.
Mm-hmm.
The bartender, in fact, hold on a second.
I'll tell you what else has a really good soundtrack, very similar to Bartenders.
What's that?
It's going to sound terrible, but Katawa Shoujo,
Oh no,
the handicapped girl dating simulator.
No, we've talked about the Katawa show, and it's actually on there too. Like, hold on, let me get this.
Right? Fucking incredible soundtrack on that thing.
Because everything I learn more about that always kind of like just fascinates me. Like, because like it's song number 3, no, song number 2 is actually Red Velvet off of that album. Let's see, yeah, hold on.
Red Velvet is one of the best.
I can actually play it.
But I'll tell you what else is good.
What's that?
Let me get this link. Shoot. Paste and send. There we go. The one over in Stream Visuals.
1 second, I'm drawing an eyebrow.
Like, right up there with Red Velvet. I would say this one is exactly on the same level.
I think that's on here too.
Nocturne.
I have to look. The Classy V jukebox is like a constant companion of mine because sometimes I forget it exists, but when I do, I listen to it because there's so much good shit on here.
Like Fragrance Dark Coffee or something like that on there, and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the first one to come up on there.
I'm telling you, who else has got that shit in spades is my boy Yashi Iki,
Yeah,
the dude that did the Hellsing soundtrack.
yeah.
I showed Prowler that shit, and he got into him and started looking into it more than I had in like a long, long time. Because I just knew him from like 2 soundtracks. I didn't know that he ever did the Darker Than Black soundtrack or like anything else like that.
Yeah.
So I come back.
But yeah,
Oozy bounce.
But yeah, apparently the dude's got like a fucking blog that he updates every single month with a brand new song and has been doing it for a long time.
Hell yeah. I was looking for the bartender off songs on here. I know they're on here. Unless somebody had to take them off.
But yeah, Yoshiki, like, I've probably listened to about 60 of his songs in the last couple of days. Like, my man cannot fuck up a song. Everything that he does is super, super clean and talented. Because the man knows how to play like 9 different styles of music on like a bunch of different instruments.
You know what's weird? Kind of slightly off topic. Not really, but slightly off topic. How many 3DS games that were out there that had amazing ass soundtracks? Like, when I think of the 3DS, I don't really think of like banger music because, you know, the music was fairly simple in a lot of the games. But there were a lot of games, and like I've got one right now from playing in my ear from Hotel Dusk, which was a 3DS game that was really good, and it has really good music on it because it's like a detective game, and it's just really cool. I think you'd like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know what it is, but like there's a lot of like the Shin Megami Tensei that were on there. They had them. I also have to be careful here because I know there is some Nintendo music on this playlist, so I have to skip those. Yeah, it's just I don't know. Like I never would think of the 3DS as like a powerhouse for music, but they had some good shit on there.
Oh yeah. No, it's like the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo had like super reliably good soundtracks for everything. Like, hell, just for an example, bro, you know one reason, in fact, the main reason that I love to hear a good guitar and a synth play together?
What's that?
Mega Man X's soundtrack.
I can see that.
That shit is the most rockinest synth that ever existed.
Oh my god.
And like, dude, they made fucking 8 games of that. Well, 9 games actually, but we don't count one of them.
Yeah, so we don't talk
Yeah.
about that one.
Yeah, but yeah, they made 8 games and remastered the soundtrack on a couple of them whenever they did remakes. And like, dude, straight up, they ain't got a bad soundtrack on none of them. Every goddamn Mega Man X game has a fucking killer OST.
I don't know, boys. That seems like it might be a little bit, fucked up.
I mean, that's just the essence of us.
Oh man, I just thought of another fucking game series that had a killer soundtrack.
What's that?
Shinobi on the Genesis.
Ah, dude, fucking Shinobi.
You know what game had a really good soundtrack?
What's that?
Hmm.
Red Alert.
Yes,
Command
most
and
certainly
Conquer.
did.
Yeah. Command and Conquer, Red Alert.
But let's not think about Red Alert too much, because then we'll start crossing into certain territories that involve Tim Curry and him chewing the scenery.
Hey.
Oh, you know I want to quote it so bad.
Yes, I do.
So we'll all start talking about Tim Curry. You can tell a lot about a man from what Tim Curry, movie he knows it from.
I am going to the one place that has not been corrupted by capitalism.
No, he doesn't even really put on the accent. He just sounds like himself. I'm going to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism.
It's funny,
Space!
you can tell that he's trying to keep it together.
Like, I swear to God, that's exactly how he hits that note every time. It's just Spice! Yeah, Funk, I don't think you'll be able to play this one on stream, but I know you'll definitely remember it.
1 second, I'm having an existential crisis because of lips. God, I remember that case. Like, that's what made me pick that game up at the fucking, the movie rental place. Was seeing that case and being like, there's a ninja and what appears to be a Yeti behind him. And I need to know about this.
The ninja versus the abominable snowman. Little did you know that if you got one of the original production cards of that game, you would end up fighting Spider-Man that turns into Batman.
I remember that because it was a placeholder, wasn't it? Something?
No, what it was like they actually just thought they could get away with it. And then they kind of forgot about it by the time that they went to the overseas sale. And when it got over here, Marvel and DC were both like, hey, what the fuck? So immediately Sega recalled all the cartridges they could and re-released them with an edited version where it's still Spider-Man, but he turns into some generic bat demon gargoyle thing. So I guess they worked out with Marvel, but they couldn't do shit with DC.
When did Shinobi release?
Fuck. Revenge of Shinobi, I think, was like 92, 93, something like that.
Okay, yeah, that would have made sense that they couldn't work it out with DC because that's like height of the Batman movies.
Yeah.
Because that's Batman Returns right there, if I remember right.
Because I want to say Revenge of Shinobi was a fairly late entry on the Genesis. Wasn't late enough that they were doing like the fucking Sega CD and the 32X and all that nonsense. Oh, no, I guess if it was that late, then it would be shit. Probably what, around like 93, 94, something like that. Fuck, I'll just look it up.
Man, hold on. How the fuck you gonna call a game Definitive Edition and then come out with DLC for it?
Capitalism.
Isn't the whole point of it being definitive, meaning that's it? That's the entire package?
That's
Oh shit, 89. My bad, that was way off.
That's in that same level of like the fucked up of Far Cry 6 releasing a Game of the Year edition, but they didn't win any Game of the Year awards.
Exactly, yeah.
I fucking hate hams.
Man. What are some like fairly weird, obscure game series that y'all miss, that y'all kind of wish would have got at least one more entry? Not necessarily come back nowadays, but it just got one more back in the day. Like fucking Pumbaa or something, you know?
Gex.
Medieval.
Gex.
Gex, oh my god.
Medieval.
I loved
What are you
Medieval.
guessing?
The first two were like really good, and I really wish they'd have done more with those. Cause I thought they were really fun. Like I liked that style of platformer where it wasn't like a side to side platformer,
Go down.
or it was like you could just do whatever.
Mm.
So I kind of liked that. And Daniel Fortescue was actually a really cool character too. Like he couldn't talk, but he was real emotive. I kind of liked that in the character. If not that, technically it's gotten some new releases because they're all part of the same thing. But Xenogears.
Nah, I'm talking way more obscure than that.
So everybody I say Xenogears 2, they're just like, what the fuck is that? Then I have to explain it for 20 minutes.
Nah, Xenogears is very popular.
If we're gonna go obscure, Immortal
Like I said,
Arms.
think Toomba. Like
Yeah.
Toomba is like way out there. That's like fucking. What was the Super Nintendo caveman game?
Joe and Mac.
It was like a two-player. Joe and Mac. That's it. Yeah, that's like that kind of bullshit, you know.
Yeah. Would you ever... Hold on a second. Thousand Arms. That's it. Thousand Arms. Did you ever try that?
There you go. Now you're talking. I have not tried it, but I've heard of it.
That was for... I actually own that one. Like, I bought it forever ago. I had to get it off eBay because you couldn't find it anywhere around here. Part dating sim, part RPG. Because the whole
It's like
thing,
what is that one? Samurai Gunman Zan. Like that level of obscure is what you're talking about right there.
I always wanted to play that, but could just never find it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember back in the day reading like Rurouni Kenshin, and he was always talking about like, yeah, he's like, I finally got some time to play games and playing this Rising Samurai Zan, and I was like, well, shit, I've been wanting to play that since I first heard of it, but like, you just couldn't ever find it anywhere. Like,
Nah, that's what the best friends play. They just did it one time, and that was fucking hype for a PS1 game.
It looked cool. Like, what else? Lunar's not really obscure, but I do wish there'd have been more of those. Would Brave Fencer Musashi count?
Yeah, Brave Fencer Musashi counts.
And I would say
there,
that for
there,
sure.
there was a sequel in the PS2, and that was horrible.
Yeah, so I don't want to count
Or
it.
like, I would even count like Arc the Lad. Like Arc the Lad is fairly obscure, I would say.
I tried to get into Arc the Lad like I don't know how many times. I just couldn't.
No, but I just mean like that level of it. No, not necessarily wishing a sequel for that. Fuck that.
Yeah, I was just commenting like I tried to get into Arc the Lad many times. I just every time it just didn't do it for me.
Yep.
It's like I get it, but it's just like I don't know.
Just not your jam.
It just really wasn't. But I know it's a good game, but it's just not for me.
Dude,
I guess.
you know what game I wish would have got?
Sorry, you cut out there pretty hard.
As dumb as it sounds.
What's that?
Y'all motherfuckers ever played Michael Jackson's Moonwalker on Sega Genesis?
Man,
I played the Genesis version and the arcade version.
Bruh.
I didn't know
That
there
game
was
is
an arcade
fucking
version.
dope.
Yep.
Yeah, there's an arcade version that's even better.
It's kind of an on rails shooter. Isometric view though. As crazy as that sounds.
Yep.
And you can have 4 Michael Jacksons on screen with different, each one with a different color and all kinds of lightning and crazy shit just happening.
But the one I'm most familiar with is the Sega Genesis one. Dude, that game was fun as fuck. Like, it was actually really entertaining.
I remember getting it, downloading it like a while ago, back when I was doing the emulation thing like a lot.
Mm.
I think in the 90s. Like, oh, yeah, that's right. Michael Jackson had a fucking game. Let's go play that and see, what, it'll probably be funny or whatever, right? Probably bad. And then next thing I know, I played through the entire thing. Like, damn, that was pretty good.
All right.
Oh, right. So I wish a game that would get another chance, or series, is Burning Rangers. I never played the Sega. I never played the game. It was on the Sega Saturn. I never played it. But the idea of high tech, like futuristic firefighting, sounds really appealing to me.
Sounds like.
Plus, that game had a killer soundtrack.
Sounds kind of like Promare, the video game. That'd be dope as fuck.
That's basically what Promare is. Promare is basically Burning Rangers. A little more supernatural, obviously, but the gist of it's there. Basically, they're firefighters.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Sega will occasionally reference Burning Rangers in their games. But they just never done anything with it. It's kind of like Capcom with Captain Commando.
Yeah, Sega has some of the weirdest inside bits though of all time because like Box Helios getting multiple iterations in the opposite series. What the fuck is that shit? That game is actually really cool. Like, how is this not developed into an actual series yet? It's just a series of mini games in the Yakuza series that you can play in the arcades. Super interesting.
Yeah.
And then just have that through there as like an inside joke.
This one might sound a little weird, but do y'all remember the game Dark Watch?
Sounds familiar.
It was like PS2, Xbox era, and the whole thing was like, it was like you're a vampire cowboy, and like the whole claim to fame was like it was like the first video game to have a sex scene in it, supposedly, where like depending on basically at the end, if you choose like the bad bitch vampire, or you pick the good girl and all this shit.
I like the vampire in the trench coat thing kind of sounds familiar.
Like, hold on, let me get a. Because like if you see the cover, you'll probably
One of those.
One of those, I go see it because it looks almost like kind of it looks kind of like Yeehaw Hellsing.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna put this in stream visuals.
Yeah, I remember seeing this fucking thing.
Okay, so despite the fact that like everybody tried to make the biggest deal of the fact that like it was just oh man, there's a sex scene in this game, it was actually a really solid shooter. Like there was a lot going on in that game, and honestly, it was really fun. And I kind of wish,
Bro,
like,
you want me to curse you with some knowledge real quick?
hit me with some knowledge.
Okay, so take a look at Dark Watch Man's guns there, right?
Look here. Okay, I'm looking
Get
at
a
this gun.
good hard long look at that shape, right?
All right, hit me with it.
Now look up Ebony and Ivory from DMC. Not Devil May Cry, but Dino May Complain.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck, they got the little hooks on the back too.
They look so similar,
Fucking Dino ripped off Dark Watch.
right? The only thing that's missing is the fucking rail along the.
It was a really cool series, and honestly, I had a lot of fun with it when I played it. So, kind of wish there'd have been more to it, but everybody just kind of was like, "Oh, there's," and it's kind of like when everybody was like up in arms about Mass Effect having sex scenes, and then it's like the most PG shit ever.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one did have full frontal nudity, but when I say full frontal, it was like there was like, oh, there's titty, oh, titty's gone.
Yeah.
But it was a really solid game. It had kind of some cool lore, and like I like Wild West stuff and paranormal Wild West stuff. So it was just a pretty neat little way to go.
Yeah.
Just wish they'd do some more with it.
Let's see. What do I wish they had from the Xbox and PS2 era? I definitely want more Tenchu, but that's a fairly well-known series.
Yeah.
Definitely want more fucking Legacy of Kain, but Amy Hennig has retired from the industry, so I don't trust anyone else to fuck with it. Let's see. I can think of a semi-dead series that I would like to get revived.
What's that?
Fucking Mega Man X.
Yeah. What was that I was looking at the other day? And
That shit only exists in references anymore, man. It's fucked.
oh yeah, fucking okay. So Torvallis, I was talking to him the other night, and I was telling I was telling you guys about I was going to try to play a lot of these old games I have on my 3DS that I never beat. And
Yeah.
he told me, he said, hey, well, just remember that next year the 3DS shop goes down, so if there's anything on there you want, make sure you get it, because it's gone forever after that. And I was like, oh, okay. So I got looking, and there was a series called like Gun Volt, something Breaker Gun Volt.
Yeah.
And they had a crossover.
Azure Breaker.
Middle day.
Azure Breaker Gunvolt.
That's exactly it. I got to looking at it, and they were doing a crossover with Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't have to do this, Gunvolt. I own one of your games. You're
Nope.
actually pretty good.
You don't have to do all that.
It's like, please, don't do this to yourself. Anyway. So...
Man.
Unless anybody's got
That
anything else.
is an unfortunate fate.
It is. I'm going to start wrapping things up for the evening.
All right, sounds good.
So, anybody got anything before we get out of here?
Just keep it near to the ground for the spooky stream. That's about it.
That's it. We're going to try to get that set up. I'm arguing if tomorrow, if I want to try to cramp or try to get in a like a Vermintide stream for the Halloween event, because that sounds pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I just was told, or I just found out today, like Friday night is the opening home game for the hockey team around here. So I'm kind of arguing if I want to go to that. I was like, that'd be cool, but I think I may wait and try to go Saturday night or something. But,
Hell yeah.
Because I was looking, it's like tickets are $10. I was like, fuck yeah, I can do $10. But other than that, plan to be here Friday night for TF2. Saturday night be chill stream, so we're probably going to start with some multiverses and then kind of go into drawing again, and hopefully I'll be able to actually make something. Other than that, just keep in mind, next week I won't have a Friday or a Saturday stream. I'll be kind of out and about. There might be a Saturday stream. I'm not going to say no, because I don't know what time I'm going to get done with all the wedding shit. And
Yeah.
streaming helps me kind of decompress, so honestly, I might do it. Thank you to everybody who came out for the first ever YouTube stream. It actually went a lot smoother than I thought it was going to.
Hell yeah. We appreciate it, everyone.
Appreciate everybody showed up. If there's any new folks show up or see this video, we are available. I'm everywhere. You can find me anywhere basically by searching Funkshire. I'm on twitter.com/Funkshire, twitch.tv/Funkshire, YouTube, Funky Bunch. Anybody else got one I want to share?
Nah,
No.
I ain't cool enough.
Don't believe in water. It's not real.
Yeah,
It
don't.
says-
Water isn't
the
real,
planet's
birds
made
aren't
up-
real, fuck the police.
Water-
Let's
They
make a
said we're
deal.
made out of 90% water, and honestly, water is like 90% bleach. So
Therefore, we are bleach.
exactly.
That's why I pee as often as possible to get all the water out of me, because I know that's a conspiracy.
Yep.
So I'm peeing right now. But anyway, folks, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Come back and see us anytime. We will be here. I'm probably try to do YouTube stream at least once a week just to give it a shot. But hey, I'm glad if you came out tonight. I hope you had fun, and we will see you all next time.
Later.